Boys are going to bring the heat today.
As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time with Jeff Booner. Lucas, it is Tuesday, March 25th. Coming off a mock draft Monday, things are happening right now in NFL free agency. So, well, you know what? We'll catch up on it all. We're also introducing a new topic today, our new segment, which, you know, I don't know if I'm excited for or not, but the people should be excited because I think it'll be entertaining. A little bit of trivia. A little bit of Crunch Time trivia.
Trivia Tuesdays.
Yeah, so that'll be in the second hour. So you know what? Lots to get to. But fellas, how we doing today, man? How we feeling? Huh?
Normal Tuesday. I'm ready to talk some ball for real. I'm pumped up. I don't know about the boys, but interesting day. I don't know if you guys saw some of the news over the last hour. NFL things.
Yeah.
People, I was told NFL free agency is over. It's not. Brad's not going to do it. Seems like it's just picking up. Things are just getting started, boys. I'm pumped up to talk about it. There's a lot of things going on around the NFL.
Yeah.
The National Football League.
Jeff, that number 3 overall pick was supposed to be a lock. They now got the Giants do Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Tommy DeVito. So that's a packed quarterback room. I don't think number 3 is a lock for Shedeur Sanders. Not saying that he can't, but Tuesday was very fine, boys. Very fine Tuesday. I need a haircut if you can't tell, but things will come. Had to make payments for the car. Cut will come this weekend.
This
This news today is unbelievable.
I mean, really, the Giants and Super Bowl winning. I like how they do that. Super Bowl winning quarterback Russell Wilson reached an agreement today on a 1-year deal worth up to 21. Worth up to means incentives, including $10.5 million guaranteed. The 10-time Pro Bowl selection had been in discussions with the Giants, Browns, and Steelers, but is opting for New York, where Wilson won Super Bowl. Yeah. What I don't even know what number that is. 10, 3, whatever. In MetLife
$10.5 million guaranteed.
Yeah. So I will say this.
Can you not read numbers, Jeff? Are you bad with numbers?
He's shook. He's shook.
No, Roman numerals?
Now staring down the barrel.
Oh, you're talking about Roman numerals.
Yeah,
Sorry, I thought you were talking at the
Roman
the
numerals.
price
The
for
X is
contract.
10. The V
I apologize.
5.
Yeah. I thought you were looking at the money of the contract.
Yeah, no, I'm bad with the Roman numerals, man. I don't know.
I don't know how to read Roman numerals either, dude. I'm on.
Yeah, that was about a decade ago, though. But anyway, regardless. Yeah, Russell. Okay, Russell. Okay. And you brought this up. You texted the group chat. You know, Boone did earlier, and I said, "There's no way."
I asked. I said, "Is it a Jared or a Jeff Locke?"
It's Jeff Locke.
Shedeur at 3.
What I didn't prepare for was the Russell Wilson. That's on me.
2 hours after.
Yeah, I honestly, if I'm being, I thought Russ would go to the Browns. I like it just made sense. Like I assume they're not going to take a quarterback, so he'd go to the Browns, and the Giants would take Shedeur. Like it happened, it was all in my head, and then I get this notification. Klotz sends it through like the troll he is, and he's like, "Oh, Shedeur, he's not a lock to New York anymore, huh?"
The shit Sanders.
Well, here's a theory. How about this one? Oh, yeah. You're going to hate this one.
Tommy DeVito out.
No.
Let's hear it.
What if the Giants, oh, this could age poorly or age very well. What if the Giants, hold on, don't know if he's going to be there?
All right, that was the
what
stupidest.
If the Browns,
you built
what
up
if
for
the
that.
Browns? No. Because Cam Ward's going 1. It's pretty solidified. Like that dude's going 1.
The Browns aren't doing it.
What if the Browns take Shedeur?
Well, let me take you down this avenue, Jeff, and let me
mind blown.
You as a Shedeur Sanders supporter should hope that is the last thing that happens.
Oh,
I'll give you a couple names.
I get that.
Deshaun Watson, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Baker Mayfield, Jameis Winston, Joe Flacco. You can go down a laundry list of quarterbacks that the Browns have had over the last 4 to 5 seasons. Deshaun Kaiser, 419 legend, shout out. And none of them outside of Baker Mayfield had panned out. And if you look at that roster that Baker Mayfield had compared to the 2025 Cleveland Browns, Hefe, you're not gonna like the looks of that. Nick Chubb gone. Like the only thing the Browns have at this point is Myles Garrett, and then maybe David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy. And you're playing right off the fucking lake. Like Shedeur Sanders should be praying and hoping that Travis Hunter, his teammate, or Abdul Carter go number 2. The Browns. I mean, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Like it would be so smart for teams that, you know what, regardless of who we take this year, we're probably not going to be that good. The Browns, with as many needs as they have to trade back from 2 to 7, 2 to 8, the compensation you could possibly get for a team that wants to go up and take Shedeur Sanders, think about the compensation they'd have next year in a better quarterback class. They'd have more picks. The Browns should trade out at number 2 and find a team that's really high on Shedeur Sanders that can fit their system. But no, the Browns are in no position to take a rookie quarterback and expect them to succeed. In no way, shape, or form. So could he go number 2, Jeff? Absolutely could. Is it the right pick for Shedeur or the Browns? No. Cam Ward to the Titans, completely different situation. The Titans own the number 1 overall pick, but are much, much better than the Browns are sitting right now.
I'm just saying, you were saying, oh, it's not a lock. Imagine he goes higher. Who's laughing now?
I'm not even a Shedeur Sanders fan, and I hope for his sake that he doesn't go to Cleveland.
No, I agree with that. Like fit-wise, no. It'd be nice. It'd be nice if he went to the Saints. That'd be a good spot. You know, with Kellen Moore, that'd be cool. With Chris Olave, but I don't know. Something's fishy with this whole thing, man. I don't know. We'll see. That'll be interesting. Russ and Jameis. Wow, what a quarterback room. It's like you guys are asking to get fired, man. Like Brian Daboll is out of there.
I don't know what they're doing. Not in him, the GM there too. He's done.
Like you guys are just, like, what are you doing?
You're setting nothing up.
Who's gonna win you more games realistically in a bad situation? Because New York is not a good situation. They're fighting for, if we can get 7-8 wins, not even playoffs, just not finishing like the embarrassment in the NFL like they have been for the last 2 to 3 seasons. That is their goal. If they can be able to get 7-8 games in a spot where next year's draft they're still in position for a quarterback, Brian Daboll could keep his job. Joe Sheen, I don't know, because that man is fucked the New York Giants franchise. Brian Daboll can only do so much with the hand that he's been dealt. I don't think he's done a terrific job, but I think Brian Daboll is a much better coach than he's looked over the last couple of seasons. So if they're able to win 6, 7, 8 games, they might be able to keep their jobs because they're going to have a top pick in the NFL draft and they're a quarterback away. If you get a Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, that's going to look good on the resume instead of whiffing on a quarterback yet again, and now they have no chance. If you draft Shedeur Sanders and you win 4 games, you're fired.
No, Klotz, let me tell you something. This is good because you know what, I can teach you a thing or two. All right, you're the ball knower, but I'm gonna teach you a thing. Here, take a seat right here. Okay, let me tell you something. When you draft a quarterback, what that does typically is buy you time. If you sign Russ and you sign Jameis and you win 7 games, 8 games, you are fired. Okay. What's a way to look at it is if you draft Shedeur, but you win 5 games, you're like, but we have a franchise. We love this guy's a franchise guy. Just give him another year. He's going to develop. Like you can sell. What are you selling with Russ? Like the dude is cooked. You know what I mean? You sell
an idea to the
maybe Arch Manning
for 1 year. I'm going to show you that we're capable of winning with solid quarterback play. I don't think Shedeur Sanders stepping into New York and the NFC East with the Eagles and the Commanders is going to be able to go out there and look like a solid rookie quarterback. Honestly, if he falls within the top 3 picks, which would be Cleveland and New York, somehow if he goes to the Titans, but we all see that that's not happening, he's going to go out there and you're going to win 4 to 5 games and he's going to struggle. Because whether it's because of his situation or not, if he lands in Cleveland or New York, he's going to struggle. Brian Daboll, you turned around Josh Allen. You can't turn around Shedeur Sanders. Get out. Bye. Short leash. But if you can show that you can win some games because of outside of Daniel Jones's rookie year, they haven't had solid quarterback play. Get solid quarterback play. Show the defense that they have because New York quietly has a very good defense. Get Malik Neighbors in that second year where he looks like a true wide receiver 1, all-pro wide receiver. draft a running back. Boom. Next year, you're sitting in the top half of that draft. Trade up, go get your quarterback. That buys you time, not swinging for the fences on a quarterback that we can all agree in most drafts, both of these quarterbacks, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, is not a top 5 pick. So who are you more comfortable banking the rest of your career on as far as a head coach possibly in the NFL and GM? The guy who's won 10 Pro Bowls and showed that in Pittsburgh he can win some games, or a quarterback that everybody's telling you, like, he's good, but he's not top 3 in the NFL draft good. This is a guy who should go in the middle of the round, middle of the first round. So that's, if I'm Brian Dable and I'm
Believe
Joe King,
me
that's how I'm
later.
looking at it.
I mean,
Got
let's
two
go.
options there. With Jameis too. My bad.
Am I good to go? Can I have my word now, boys?
You've
Go
had
ahead,
all
Bill.
12
Floor is
minutes.
All right.
I mean, yeah,
I want to say this, Klotz, you're both wrong. Like, Shedeur was never going to come in and be the guy in New York right away. But number 2, there's no reason to bring Russell Wilson in, because you know that, like, Russell Wilson's a 1-year guy. He's gone after this year. What's the future? Jameis Winston? Nope. Tommy DeVito? No. Like, really, what's the future in New York? You don't have one. They're going to get fired. That is literally signing away, like, hey, I don't want to be with the New York Giants anymore as a head coach or a GM. They just signed that away. That's what just happened today with Russell Wilson going there. Whether he wins games or not, it doesn't matter. It's a 1-year deal with the vet player who won't be there in the future. And, like, I'm on the side to where maybe they can get like a Jackson Dart or something, but they signed 2 veteran quarterbacks. It makes 0 sense. Like, stick with Jameis Winston, roll with him, and draft someone later in the first round and try and draft someone next, patch it up, figure it out. But, like, 2 veteran quarterbacks is just, to me, it's like ridiculous. Like, you're just sitting there basically saying, like,
it's dumb. Yeah.
it's like it's a death sentence. It is. As a GM and as a head coach, it's a death sentence, especially with Russell Wilson. It is, whether he wins you games or not.
Well, Ian Rappaport, he did say something on Pat McAfee that it stuck with me, and now I'm going to use it going forward. And maybe it's first time you guys are hearing about it. I never really looked at things. I mean, you think about it, but you don't actually think about it. But he said, when you look at quarterback contracts, especially, like, it depends. Like, the contract will tell you everything. So Jameis Winston was signed as a backup. The contract indicates that. Russell signed as a starter. Like, they gave him starter
The money, yes.
Yeah, like, so it's not even
10
like
million guaranteed with up to 20 million.
Yeah, so that's he's a starter. It's like, in my opinion, you sign Russ or Jameis, and then you draft your rookie, and then you have a vet and you have a rookie. But maybe they just, like you said, Boone, there's no future. He's in a 1-year deal. Like, what?
Yeah, it's not like you're sitting there being like, oh, we can win a couple games. That's so cool this year. Like, no, if you're trying to build a legit franchise, you're not, like, that's not even like a good bridge, because you don't have if it was a bridge and you had Shedeur in the building, then that makes more sense. Like, if you draft, and maybe they still do draft Shedeur number 3 overall, let go of Tommy DeVito, and they roll with Shedeur, Jameis, and Russell, and they let Shedeur just kind of, learn under those 2 guys and build. That would make sense. Or if they trade back and draft Jackson Dart or something like that. But as of right now, like, if this is your quarterback room going into 2025, if I'm a Giants fan, what am I showing up to the games for? Like, why am I buying tickets to go to MetLife Stadium? Really? What, to win 8 games, 7 games, be average,
not going to see Russ,
have a middle draft pick, and have a top 15 draft pick, not even a top 5, and just be like, oh, whoa, that's cool. We won some games. Now we're
going
just
to see Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. It's not even that he's like, if he's good as rookies,
Yeah.
it's like,
This
at
is
least
what
you have
we're
the
using to
future.
save our jobs instead of wins.
At least you have the future. Like, at least you have a vision.
Look at the
love
quarterback
Shedeur.
class next year. There's going to be 3 guys in the top 15 that are better than Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders.
But if they're that good, like, you just signed Russell Wilson, to your point, Klotz.
But
Let's be honest. If you have Russell Wilson that wins football games,
Yep.
you're not going to be picking top 5.
Top
You're gonna
15, I said. Top 15.
If the quarterback class is that good, they're going to go in the top 5. If they're that good, quarterbacks are valuable.
We've seen, if you think that there's going to be 3 quarterbacks taking the top 5, either way, there's going to be 4 quarterbacks in top 15 that are better than Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. If you're sitting at 15 and you go through this quarterback or you go through this draft and you go, we got Russ and Jameis at quarterback this year. Let's go get a running back.
Average.
Let's go get another offensive lineman. Let's get a linebacker. If they fix that offensive line, their defense is already very good. They got Malik Neighbors. They got Wendell Robinson. They need a tight end, running back, couple more offensive linemen. You go through this year, you go about 500. I was thinking 8 wins. You go about 500, and then you trade up next draft, and you are ready to go. You got your rookie quarterback, and you got Jameis or Russ, whoever you want, to bring back next year if you want to develop them more. But to put your job on the line for Shedeur Sanders is something that I would not do. I don't blame Giants for doing it. At least GM and head coach.
I don't know. I just think
I would do it. You know why? Because at least I know I'm getting
You're getting aura, Jeff. You're getting aura. You're getting butts in the seats for 4 wins this year.
You know what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to draft him, and let's say hypothetically it doesn't work out. I'm going to look at Prime and be like, "You got a job over in Boulder?" I'm going to go over to Boulder, be an assistant coach for you.
Oh, no.
You got a job over in Boulder? Maybe you get that connection. You get a job somewhere. You know what I mean?
Instead of being a head coach at the Giants, you're going to the Big 12.
Yeah.
What's crazy though is if I'm being honest with you, Jeff, the fact that they just brought in Russell Wilson makes me think that they don't like Shedeur Sanders, like they're not bought in, to which makes me think Shedeur ends up falling in this draft class.
The thing is, dude, and I don't want to spend too much. I know it's been 17 minutes. We'll move on because there's other things that are more interesting. I understand that. Let me just say this, fella. This is where I'm coming from, and you guys can disagree with it. It's fine. Obviously, I'm higher on Shedeur. I don't know how people, and I think a lot of it has to do with him being I'm not saying you guys, but it seems like the media, it's just like the arrogance, or at least the sense of arrogance. He's not arrogant, but people get this like, maybe it is the aura. Maybe they get this like feel from him, this vibe where it's like this guy's kind of like, a little cocky, even though he's not, but it comes off that way. But when you actually watch him, he doesn't have Josh Allen's arm. Okay. He doesn't move like Josh Allen.
Great start.
Okay. But guess what?
For a top 5 quarterback, this is a great pitch.
No, but I'm not saying he's going to be Josh Allen. I'm not saying that. But can he be does he have the potential to be a top 10 quarterback? Yes, he does.
In a good system, yeah.
Yeah, which I think is Josh Allen's don't grow on trees. You know what I mean? Like those guys come around generation. You can't look at every quarterback class and say, is there a Josh Allen? Nope. Okay, I'm out.
But to be a top 5 quarterback solidified, Jeff, you want to be like he has that ceiling. That's to be solidified as a top 5, top 10 quarterback drafted wise. You want to be like, okay, he has a ceiling.
Yes, you want to know he has a ceiling, but again, the reality, not everyone's going to be like Mahomes or Allen.
Agreed. But you want to be able to.
Let's say his peak is Jared Goff. You're still getting a dude who's going to take you to the playoffs every single year, put up great numbers, be in MVP conversations, like be a Pro Bowler. Like that's still not a bad pick. You know what I mean?
In the top 5, though. When you don't have a lot, when it's like a losing team, when you look at the Rams and what they did after Jared Goff, they're in a much better spot. Shedeur Sanders, if he goes to the Giants, is going to have to he's going to be the guy to turn around the New York Giants, to turn around the Cleveland Browns. He's going to have to be that guy if he's a top 10
turned around
pick.
Colorado.
If you're telling me Shedeur Sanders is going to be
this guy comparing Colorado to the NFL
as far as turning around a system. If you were to land with like Ben Johnson and the
crazy.
Bears, who are already pre-built, but when I look at Shedeur Sanders, I look at like a Baker Mayfield, not Andy Dalton late, but Andy Dalton in Cincy when he had AJ Green, and that's a guy you take.
Andy Dalton, okay.
Andy Dalton was a Pro Bowl quarterback when he was in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
like, I'm saying, like you're laughing at that, but you go back and look at Andy Dalton. Like look at there's not so many. If you go look around a couple of Shedeur Sanders mock drafts, his comparisons, it's Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, Andy Dalton. There's none of these guys that are elite, and that's why it's like, again, if you're taking a guy 3rd overall and he's not elite, job, bye.
Boone, you made a comment about listen, and I know Baldwin, I just said Dion turned around. Yeah, he did. Prime did, but guess what? There's
the NFL. It's so different.
No, I'm
not saying he can't.
I'm not comparing,
but being like it's a lock it's ridiculous.
But people aren't taking into consideration what he did at Colorado, along with Prime and Travis Hunter. I understand.
Agreed.
That.
No, you don't take the credit away from what Shedeur did. He still
turned around.
Unbelievable. Like this is the point, though. It's
touches the ball
in an NFL franchise. We talk about all the time, and I'm surprised. Out of anyone, you are the one that won't even give it a little bit of a light. The fact that, like you've told me for years, the hit rate on a quarterback in the first round is so low. extremely low. And taking the risk on quarterbacks in the first round, like, it's not a guaranteed thing. Even if you think you have the best player, look at like Josh Rosen and some of these guys where you're like, hey, that ceiling's there. You've seen it. You've seen the throws. You've seen the playmaking abilities. But then it's get to the NFL and it's a different level. Not everyone can do it. So if you're not completely sold on a guy like Shedeur Sanders, you're not going to say, I'm going to give up a 3rd overall pick or a 2nd overall pick for a guy like that. Like, you're just not. Now, to your point, like, you're sold on him and you think he's going to be that.
Yeah,
I just don't think most NFL GMs correct, like right now, aren't sold the fact that he is a first-round draft pick. Like, that is a fact. Like, that has been reported. I think I heard Daniel Jeremiah, or there was someone that spoke about it that said, hey, most of the GMs I talked to said they don't have him going in the top 10. Like, they don't think he's at that level. The only reason he is because he's the number 2 overall quarterback in a bad draft class. And that's why there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue the draft class, but he's QB2. There's not even a debate.
Yeah, but
it's not like Jackson Dart. You can maybe have a debate, but like, that's it. The thing I got frustrated with at the combine was like the Jalen Milroe thing. It's like, oh my god.
But if you put like, Shedeur
dude.
Sanders in last year's draft class,
yes,
he is not going in the first round. It's just, he's not going to be one of those top 12 picks. Or if he does, he's towards the back with like Michael Patrick.
Yeah, he would be like the Bo Nix and him would be scrapping it out.
Yes,
for
that Denver job.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
That's where I think the drop off is, to where you're like, take him 3rd. If he's like, are you guaranteed last year when people took Bo Nix? At least some of us thought he was going to be good, but like, there wasn't a 100% hit rate that he was about to go in there and take a team to the playoffs.
No, like I understand. I say that with the Giants because I think that's the best thing that's what they have to do. They have to draft a quarterback. Like, just in my opinion, if they don't, maybe they get Arch Manning next year. They have to suck, like be the worst team in the league. But I think they should take a quarterback. I do. So that's why.
It's a weird thing what they did today.
Yeah, it's just weird. We'll see. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still a free agent, so.
I would fire. They're not going to be good until they fire everyone in that front office. So.
He's going to land with the Steelers. I mean, that's just how it is at this point. The guy's playing like he's doing his little free agency tour. And then Stephon Diggs signed with the Pats. I saw on a 3-year deal.
Good signing.
I don't know if I like it.
Why?
I think Stephon, as much as I like him, I think Stephon is just not. I think at this point in his career, coming off the injuries coming off of, he's already a big, big personality. And, like Boone always brings this up. And this is where, I'm using Boone on this. A little bit of the, he's off the field distractions, a little bit of the locker room stuff. He's bitching
coming off
at Josh Allen. Injury. Like, I don't know if I would want him around my young quarterback right now. Like, you saw Josh, they literally got rid of him and he was fine. He literally won MVP.
They were better. They were literally better without him.
As much as I like Stephon, I love watching him. If I'm the Patriots, I'm not throwing money at him. I'd rather just be like, you know what, Drake, now he has in his mind, it's like, you got to make sure this dude gets his targets. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Who else are they throwing the ball to?
I mean, draft someone.
The whole thing with Stephon Diggs is he complains about not getting the ball because no matter where he's went outside of Buffalo's last 2 years, he had Adam Thielen there. You look at Houston, really was not much at all of an off-the-field problem in Houston. Like, he's going to Patriots. He's getting paid some money. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 there. Sure, there might be a rookie wide receiver 2, but you're not throwing the ball to Austin Hooper over him. You're not throwing it to Mario Douglas, Keyshawn Boutte. They don't have a fucking running back. Ramondre Stevenson, we saw what he was this year. Like, Stephon Diggs, he's not Stephon Diggs as old. But what do rookie quarterbacks need? They need vets that are close to the line of scrimmage that can run short routes so they can get the ball out quick. They have a Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, like I just brought up. Cool. Who's next over the middle of the field? Stephon Diggs. Great route runner. Going to be good for Drake May to get some actual wide receiver help out there. They want to get A.J. Brown. Off the field issue. Mike Vrabel's dealt with that. He's literally had A.J. Brown on his team. A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs, not that big of a difference. And we saw in Tennessee, Mike Vrabel did not want to let Stephon Diggs go. Stephon Diggs is not going to go in New England with Mike Vrabel, Terrell Williams, the culture that's in New England, and throw it apart. I don't think that'll be the place where he does it, especially he knows I'm coming off an injury. I just got paid a lot of money. I'm not the best in my game anymore. Is Stephon Diggs going to have points where he complains? Yes. But if you're asking me, does that derail what the Patriots are building right now? Absolutely not. These guys still have a top 5 pick. They don't need to worry about getting a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds.
It's your boy
T-Mac. I mean, if they do, great. But at the end of the day, their main factor right now should be protecting Drake.
Yeah.
They had the worst offensive line in the NFL last year.
Or Travis
Go
Hunter.
ahead, take it. Even if you're sitting there at 4, again, another great team that you could trade back. Take Travis Hunter if you want to at 4. If not, trade back and protect Drake May for the next 5 years instead of having him get killed. There's no way you're going to win with that team if you don't take an offensive lineman in the first 2 rounds.
I'm not a huge fan of it. But you know what? I understand it. I just Patriots, I mean, I don't think they have a cap. Like, I get Drake.
They just keep signing everyone.
Dude, they got money.
Well, they did have the most cap space coming into the offseason.
Because they're not paying. I mean, who are they paying?
Well, now they're paying a lot of people, but they weren't going into the offseason. They literally they had all just rookies. They cut everyone. They traded guys.
Yeah,
they literally just went through like a fresh rebuild. And now you're looking at it and you're like, okay, they actually have like a legit roster now, which is good. Like Drake May, like it's built up with Stephon. Who knows what's going to happen with that? I mean, the thing with Stephon is just like he's really out. To be honest, I think the bottom line is, and this is where I'm at with it. It's like, where has he won? Like, yeah, he put some, like he's had great stats and he's had a good career. But there's just constantly, it just runs into some sort of issue in Minnesota. Okay, let's get traded. Oh, Bills, things are really cool off and really good at first to start. Oh, guess what? Problems start to happen. He's mad. They're losing this, that. Oh, maybe you're the problem. They leave. They start winning again. And it's just like Tennessee is only there 1 year, obviously, on that 1 year deal. So I'm just interested to see, like, is it going to be like all sunshine and rainbows the first year for Stephon Diggs in New England, and then come year 2, year 3, when they have another wide receiver that takes the wide receiver 1 spot, like a T-Mac or a Travis Hunter, is he just going to turn into the same Stephon Diggs that he was in Buffalo or in Minnesota towards the end of that run? Like, that's the problem with me. Like, that's where I run into it, to where you have a young guy, like you need to put the right pieces around him. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see over the next few years. I'm sure year 1 he's going to be all good and, new spot. We're happy. But year 2, year 3, when other guys start getting fed and they start adding more weapons and they draft more people, how does he handle that? Because he didn't handle it well in Buffalo and it didn't handle it well in Minnesota.
Like drop. I like that. I mean, Mike Vrabel's the one positive thing. He's a hell of a coach. It's like Dan Campbell. Like, I trust Dan to like get dudes in order. I expect Vrabel to. He's that same way. Yeah, he won't let too much stuff slide in their locker room. So we'll see. Mike Green had a huge, by the way, pro day. Mike Green measured 6'3", which you always see this. He was like 6'4". He's actually 6'3" and like 1/8, whatever, 250 pounds. But he posted a jaw-dropping 4.25 short shuttle and 6.85 3-cone drill, both elite numbers for his position. For context, the average NFL 3-cone time is in the 7.2s. Oh my gosh.
I think it's like one of the fastest of all time. Top 10, I think, right?
Yeah, watched by scouts, coaches, and executives from 28 NFL teams. I bet you any money the Lions were there. They were in attendance watching this.
They had someone there.
Oh, yeah. And there's been growing buzz about him as a potential top 10 to 15 pick per sources.
Yeah.
That is crazy, by the way. A 6.85 3-cone drill. That dude
Lions met with him, I believe, as well.
They did, man. I did. They did not meet with James Pierce, but they've met with Mike Green. I don't remember if it was formal or informal, but they still had some sort of meeting with him. So I think Mike Green is probably one of the more intriguing prospects to me. Like I love James Pierce. I think Mike Green's intriguing because he's super productive. He comes with like some. I don't know the situation fully, like off the field. I'm not going to even comment. I don't know anything about it, but I know he's one hell of a football player. And as a physical specimen, he's a freak. So
yeah,
if maybe there's no chance at this point you're going to get him if he's top 50, if he tests like that, but he's the guy. If you trade up to 15 or higher, or maybe he's like at 16, whatever it is, you're getting Mike Green. I've seen more and more James Pierce sliding. Like Mel brought up, Mel and Field, the Godfather, the draft Godfather, Mel Kiper. He said he's been hearing that James Pierce could be a 2nd-round pick.
That's crazy. I don't see a world.
Like early 2nd. Like he said, late 1st, early 2nd. He's like,
good thing Mel's wrong more than he's right.
But just the fact that he'd even spew that, it's like, where are you hearing this from? You know what I mean? Like, there is something about him. Like, I don't. I don't know.
I think with Mike Green though, like this is with the Lions. Like you're gonna have to trade up like very far. Like I know I did the mock draft yesterday going into 22. I guess if you go from like 28 to like 15 or 16, but what was the draft pick last year? The Lions had 27.
They
no 29. I think
29. Yeah,
and then they moved up to what 20, 23, 24 for Terrion.
24.
Yeah, so like you move up what like 4 or 5 spots. Like and we thought that was like, oh, here we go, like someone's falling. Like if you really want to get Mike Green, like you want to be honest, boys. Like I mean, I know last year we thought like Latu and those guys weren't going to fall out of the top 15, and they ended up doing it. I don't see a world where Mike Green falls out of the top 15. I really don't. Like we talked to Matt Eberflus, and one thing he said was like, hey, what do you look at in some of these, especially edge rushers? And I know Shamar Stewart was such a one-off, but like he's like production. Like the production does have to be there. Like you want to be able to see they can get to the quarterback and they can finish and get sacks. And Mike Green, like all of his tests, very, very high level. Like it's all there. The film's there and the production's there. The only thing that's not is the man has like a short arm span, like arm length. And that I think that's it. Like I think that's like literally his only knock. But it's like everything is leading up and adding up to him to be an elite pass rusher in the NFL. And the production was there, whether it was a low major or not, it's there. And you watch the film and you're like, oh, like you can't pass up on this guy. And if there's one team in the draft right away outside of Abdul Carter that you're like, they need an edge rusher or a defensive lineman or not just a defensive playmaker, Mike Green's the second guy off the board, second defensive player off the board.
Well, he could go to the Saints.
Or I guess Mason Graham, but like after Mason Graham, it's just
pass
like
rusher.
Pass rusher, like boom, who needs one? Boom, there you go. He's gone. So it's like if you really want him in Detroit, buddy, you're gonna have to make some moves. Like big moves.
That's gonna have to be a J-Mo situation. And you might, he took J-Mo at what? What pick did they take J-Mo at?
11 or 12. He moved up 20 spots.
So it's
like
gonna be in that range, man. And that's if the Saints and the Bears don't take him, because the Bears, I wouldn't rule out an edge for the Bears. They might say the Bears. Who?
Niners.
Like yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys said, "Give me Mike Green." It's just like BPA, and like if you ranked this class, like there are some players like for team needs, but like is Mike Green better than a Will Campbell when it comes down to it? Like, is he gonna have a better career? Like, I think you can make an argument. You could definitely make an argument that Mike Green could be an All-Pro edge rusher at one point in his career. So it's like if a team's like sitting there and they have the Brad Holmes mindset, why are you passing on the guy?
That's why I did my mock this week. I traded back because I do believe that there could be a scenario where Brad's guys are gone early and he has to pivot. I think that could happen.
Yes.
Because unless he reach, I don't want to say that. I hate using the word like reach, because if it's your guy, it is your guy. I understand that. But like, I don't know, unless he stays put at 28 and takes him. But maybe Brad's like, the dude I like next, I can get at 33, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just saying I put the James Pierce stuff out there, what Mel said, as not that I don't think he'll be a second round pick, but guys, I'm starting to get this feeling that there's a realistic scenario where this dude is sitting there staring right at you at 27 or 28 and they don't take him.
Who? James Pierce?
Yeah, the line.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I'm like preparing myself mentally for us on our live show. By the way, you should all tune in on draft night, and we're watching. And you just see JSP, we're like, yeah! And then it's just like the pick comes in, it's like Donovan Jackson or something.
Yeah. You're going to see last pick of the draft. The reason why I say no way James Pierce goes in the second round is because the Kansas City Chiefs, who need an edge, and the Philadelphia Eagles, who need an edge, are sitting right there. And I think you look at those two organizations, they don't pass up on players like James Pierce. The Eagles field issues are not the Chiefs.
Yeah,
how many wide receivers alone have they had with off the field issues over the last 3 seasons? How is it?
That's BPA for them, and they look at it and they go, yeah, we don't care about all that. We're gonna figure this thing out here. And you know what it is? You know what it is? It's the Big Dom effect. Big Dom. Hey, is he good? He's good.
Yeah.
Did you check the Big Dom box?
Big Dom sits him in a room like on the
Jalen Carter thing
during the combine. They just it's like a one of those detective rooms. You just light comes on.
Polygraph test.
There's like the one-way mirror or the window.
Yeah. Big Dom talk.
You got Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman on the other side of it, and Big Dom just.
Yeah, Big Dom will find out.
Dripping.
You know, I think you're probably right about that. The Eagles and the Chiefs, because the Chiefs let go. What's his name? Charles Omenihu or
They lost what's his name, the Michigan man as well.
I can't think of it.
Uche.
Josh Uche.
Yeah, Uche, but they had another guy on their defensive line too. Yeah, they've lost some pieces. So if the Lions don't take him, yeah, he'll probably be gone in the next pick or two.
The Eagles did add some edge rushers, so but they do love in the back of the first round. They do love to take
that ain't
defensive line.
No keep adding dudes, man.
They love drafting defensive line. I wouldn't be shy or shocked if they went and got another defensive tackle at the edge or at the end of the round, or the Ole Miss kid or the Oregon kid. Like, I would not be shocked.
Weezy says I'll be okay with it. I wouldn't care if the Eagles Chiefs get him.
It would turn into a disaster. I do feel like.
Baldo I see a lot of. No, go on.
I would say I feel like if the Eagles or Chiefs got him, it'd be that the conversation wouldn't be the Lions' first round pick. It'd be, how did you let the Chiefs or Eagles get James Pierce? That would be the conversation the next day. Over, you got Donovan Jackson 28th overall. Like, no, it'd be you just passed up on James Pierce.
I don't know what it is, and I'm starting to. I genuinely think, like, all right, we can agree. Brad Holmes is a very aggressive GM in the draft, correct? Mm-hmm. Very aggressive. If he likes
he is.
If he likes a guy, he's getting him.
Right.
I don't see a world where they meet with Mike Green. You see all the production and everything, and you meet with him. And I've seen interviews. Obviously, Jeff, like you said, there's a stuff that happened. Put that to the side. We don't know anything about that.
Right.
Seems like a very, very, very football-minded guy, very smart, very dialed in. Like, it seems like a Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes type of guy. I don't see a world they sat down and met with him for 15 minutes in the time that they get, and Brad isn't walking away being like, boys, if this guy falls past number 10, I'm giving everything up to get to 11 or 2. Who has pick 11 and 12?
That would be the Niners and the Cowboys.
I'm trading with an NFC team. We're going to figure this out. Because the 49ers, boys, what was that, Klotz? Because I have some.
They traded 20 spots up with the Minnesota Vikings, a division rival, to get J-Mo.
Listen.
And then last year, who'd they trade with? The Cowboys, to get in front of Green Bay.
So I heard something today.
It's a good one
that was very interesting. It backed my case from yesterday when I traded into 22. And I started seeing a lot of comments. Excuse me, boys. A little cough, still a little sick.
Right. Yeah, you're battling. Yep.
I started seeing a lot of people commenting on our YouTube, and I was commenting back, just letting people know. Like, people are like, "Hey, no one wants to give up assets this year in the first round." Let me tell you what I've heard over the last 24 hours. A lot of NFL GMs right now, and I think this might have been Daniel Jeremiah talking about it. A lot of NFL GMs are looking at next year's draft, saying, "We want assets and picks in 2026."
Yep.
Deeper draft. We're able to bring multiple seconds in, a third in, and we're able to get guys that maybe this year would be in the first round value in the 2026 draft class. When the draft starts that night, expect trades. There are going to be teams, example, San Francisco 49ers, who they have a team built out. Yes, they got rid of some guys. They have a team built out right now currently that has a chance to win.
Yeah.
But they can go get 2 or 3 more draft picks for the next 2 years to add even more to that and get more rookie contracts. And those types of teams are going to be looking at it. The Cowboys, another team that's built out, who will say, hey, we need to add more assets, trade a little back out of the first or trade to 28. And they're willing to say, we'll take a guy at 28. We'll take a second next year and add an extra second next year. And you guys can have 11 or 12. And we'll find someone in next year's draft. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I have a very good feeling, boys, that it's going to be Brad Holmes. That's one of those teams or one of those GMs that says, we'll trade up and get someone in this year's draft.
I think that's a very big guarantee, Boone, because if you look at most NFL drafts, especially in the first round, there's at least one team that has more than one first-round pick. You look at this year, every team has one first-round pick. A couple of years ago, when Howie Roseman went off, they had 3 first-round picks. Every time Brad Holmes is like, kill the draft. Brad Holmes is a good draft classes pretty much every time. But kill the draft, 2 first-round picks. And they're not dumb. They like, if you think an NFL GM, to your point, Booner, like doesn't see like, okay, we're a contending team. Like, let's use the Cowboys, for example. They need an edge. They need a wide receiver. They could use a safety, maybe a linebacker. All of that you can find late first round or second round and on. Like, they don't have an immediate need at quarterback, tackle. Like, the first round premium grades, they can afford to sit back and trade. And then next year, it's like, okay, got Dak on a massive contract. We probably just re-signed Micah Parsons. We got CeeDee Lamb on a huge deal. We got a bunch of second, third round picks last year. Better draft.
You're proving my point.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
oh, okay. I
very
thought for a second you were on the opposite side. I was like, no, you're proving my point.
No. I was saying, like, I agree because
especially with the 49ers
first year
too.
In a while, we haven't seen a team with multiple first-round draft picks. I think that changes on draft night. To your point, but like the elite GMs, there's going to be Howie Roseman, John Lynch, Les Snead, Brett Veach, or Brad Holmes will have 2 or more first-round picks next year, and that's not the case right now. And I think it's because of the draft class. What GM wants 2 first-round picks in this year's class compared to next year's and this year and on?
I'd say, Klotz, like to your point, it's one of those things to even like Brad, or if Brad can't get one of those guys early and he can't trade up and the team's not willing to work with him, guess what Brad's going to do? Because he's a smart GM. He's going to say, give me assets for next year. I'll go back to 35. I'll go back to 38 and I'll take an extra second next year. And like the Lions fall into that category. As much as Lions fans hate it, Jeff, good point for you this week with the mock draft. Like as much as Lions fans want an edge, Mike Green, which I think that they're going to try and be aggressive to do it. But if that falls through, why wouldn't you with the Lions? Like you have a Super Bowl roster. You can win a Super Bowl. You want to be honest with you boys?
Yeah.
Booner, Pat, you can win a Super Bowl with your current roster. You can. And if you look at me and say no, you're lying. Like you can win a Super Bowl. If this roster is healthy, you can win a Super Bowl. So like for them, if a guy that they love falls through of them trading up to get him, a Mike Green, or even if they like James Pierce or Donovan Izaraku, then Brad, like if I'm Brad, give me some assets. Why not? Like, give me the assets. We talk about being long-term, and our conversations all the time lead back to maintaining all these long contracts. What's the best way to do that? Keep drafting. The more assets you get, longer you can maintain. So I think it's just one or the other that ends up happening. Trade falls through and you trade back, or you end up trading
and
out.
Think about, like, hypothetically, trade back, Jordan Birch, Oladejo from UCLA, you pick up a first rounder next year. Now you can move up and you can get like a true elite edge. Like you have the ammunition to be able to do that long term wise. So the only way the Lions and Brad Holmes could fuck up this draft is like trading up for a tight end
or corner
back,
or something.
Corner. Like it's really hard for Brad to mess up this draft because of where he's sitting. And Brad doesn't mess up drafts for the most part anyways, especially in the first round.
There is going to be that group of people, though, and I already know a lot of people who fall into this category, to where if Brad does trade back and gets like an O-lineman or something, there's going to be a lot of people who are mad, like who don't look at – but it's like you do have to be realistic. Like, okay, get in the second or the third round. Like if you end up getting 2 seconds this year, like, okay, you get an edge at 60 and you put him out there. And like you are – again, I've said it before. You get one edge in this draft, you've already upgraded from last year's edge group. Yeah. And that's a healthy edge group from last year. So like, that's where it's to me, it's, you are sitting back kind of in a spot to where you're very comfortable picking who you do. As long as you don't take a swing on like a quarterback in the first round. I would be happy, to be honest. Well, that would be a disaster. Oh my gosh.
Well, even though they won't take an edge in each round, Jeff Risdon came out with an article discussing the best options in each round at edge. It's the guys that like fit the Lions. You know, he doesn't know exactly who's going to be there. Not these guys aren't top of the top in edges, but it's the best fit for assumingly who will be there. Okay. So that's how Jeff wrote the article. So let's see. It says Lions 2025 NFL draft, an edge prospect for each round. So shout out to Jeff Risdon, Lions Wire. You can read it. Let's go through this. All right. So
what is going on at the bottom of the screen right now? Oh, okay.
Right. I was a little confused. I was like, is this a green screen? Are we on a green screen right now?
I'm going to get this off.
Is that Jeff Risdon joining us?
No, that's definitely not Jeff Risdon.
Bad Baby's trying to do NFL commentary now, apparently.
The first one in the first round is Nick Scott.
Wow. I need to get more familiar with Nick Scott. If I'm just being honest with you boys. I haven't.
No, I think Klotzy's a little hard on Nick Scott, and I need to see. But here's the thing me and Klotzy will align with. Here's the thing me and Klotzy will align with. I really like Nick Scott. Like, I like him. Like, if they took him, I wouldn't be mad. But he's probably not a guy, like, out of the options I would be, like, I'm the most in love with. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be. But I think Klotzy's like, the guy. What'd you say? Did you compare him to like Josh Pascal?
He's like, okay, maybe he might pan out like better than Josh Pascal.
No.
He's not.
This is like we're talking. Is Nick Scott a true edge? No.
Yes.
What? No.
That was such a.
Getting to the quarterback. Like
10 sacks at Purdue. top 2
I
in
just,
the
let's
Big
look
Ten.
at when he's at Texas. He had 1 year at Purdue. Derek Barnes had a year where he had 7.5 sacks at Purdue. Okay, how often has he gotten to the quarterback? And
Okay.
he's been on the edge. When you look at Nick Scorin, he is a power rusher, yes. But what is he? What is the whole reason that's preventing him from being a top 15 pick, top 20 pick? He's a tweener. I have seen enough tweeners in Detroit. We can all agree at this point, for the Lions to need a Super Bowl, they need a 3-down edge rusher. Okay, not somebody that can play. You know what? He's good at the edge, but if you bump him down to 3-tech, he can play there. 5-tech, no.
He's not a
Give me an
3-tech.
edge rusher. Give me an edge
He's
rusher.
not a
Donovan needs a rock. Pretty much, you can name all the guys that Shamar Stewart I'd rather have in the first round than Nick Scorin for the upside. Nick Scorin would be a very
Wait a
solid
second.
player.
To be fair,
If you look at-
Klotz,
like, if you
his
look at
snap
Josh
count-
Pascal build. No, give me
his
a guy
snap
that can
count.
get to the quarterback with athleticism on the edge
Tell him,
and
Boone.
size.
I mean, hey, Klotz, his snap count was 500 snaps. We're really 504 outside of the tackle, 39 over the tackle, and 15 in the B gap.
He's not a tweener.
He's not. He is a strictly edge
Klotz,
rusher.
watch him at Purdue.
Every breakdown we have done on Nick Scorin, every analyst I have seen talk about Nick Scorin, they talk about him translating to the NFL as a tweener. He's not big enough to be a 3-down edge on the outside.
Well,
I
you
have
know
seen
what?
enough.
Those
If you're
guys
telling
call
me that
Lamar
Nick
a
Scorin
wide receiver.
is the perfect fit at
Lamar
the edge
Jackson.
position for the Detroit Lions. We've had this conversation multiple times. And you know what the conversation always is? Yeah, he's a kind of a tweener. We've seen it. We have all brought up the name Josh Pascal when comparing him to Nick Scorin. So now we're seeing an article where it's saying, oh, he's the perfect fit for the Lions in the first round. No, the fuck he isn't. Maybe in the second round. Lions trade up in the second round. I wouldn't be too bad. But no, not in the first round. James
I don't
Spears
know.
Jr. would be a perfect fit. Mike Green. Donovan
Well, I think Jeff-
I mean, you're talking about
six guys.
You're
before I
talking
land
about
on
top
Nick
20. You're
Scorin.
talking about top 20 picks, Klotz.
Well,
You're
and I
talking about
also
guys-
think,
about that
to be fair, I
28.
think Jeff's factoring in Boone, like Lions guys, like not like us. We agree that we would take James Spears. I don't know if Jeff's like. I think he talked about it.
That's fair. Maybe he eliminates James Pierce
Yes,
based off of
like
that
he-
because there are a lot of people out there. And honestly, like if we're being honest with ourselves, and we really haven't been over the last month, and I'm someone that's done it. Like the chances of James Pierce really being a Detroit Lion is probably very low. Like if he does have character issues, and that's a real thing, we keep bringing up. And this is something that I like. Again, I do it, and every time someone does it, I'm like, oh, it makes sense. Like. But like we fall back on they've already built the culture, like it's going to be perfectly fine. But we could say that all we want. They still don't draft those types of guys with culture issues. They don't. So like if we are being honest, then Nick Scorin, like if that's a Dan Campbell guy, like let's eliminate James Pierce. Donovan, he's a rock. Obviously, Klotz, he's a Raku, and Mike Green. Those are top 15 potential picks. Like obviously the best fit in the first round. You'd love that availability in the first round. I'm not saying I'm in love with the Nick Scorin one. I've been vocal that I think when Nick Scorin was at Texas A&M, him and Shamar Stewart both got hosed just based off of their defensive scheme and how they were basically just a run defense first, and they basically told like this is a legit thing. I can't remember who I don't think we talked to someone about it, but I watched like an hour-long video about Texas A&M and their defense. And him going from Purdue, 10.5 sacks, to Texas A&M, like that was there's a reason his sacks dropped off significantly, and Shamar Stewart barely had any sacks. It wasn't because they weren't good.
Not saying that these guys aren't good, but when you're talking about getting to the quarterback, that's what the Lions need. How many sacks did Nick Scorin have last year? And you can go. I get
4.
what you're saying, Booner, as far as scheme, run fit. Every team in the NFL is going to tell you, stop the run first. The Lions especially, that's what they make their defense on. Give me a guy that is a true – if you were going in the first round, if this pops up second round, I'm not as mad. But if you're talking about first round, if you're taking an edge rusher, it better be a guy that can get to the quarterback consistently because there's guys that are going to be available there that have done that. If we're talking second round, different conversation. But first round, Nick Scorin is somewhat of a reach in my opinion. That's just like, you know what? There's probably nobody else better there. Get Nick Scorin because he's a defensive end and he's got some first-round grades. Like I saw the comment, if the Eagles or Chiefs took him, like I'm not panicking compared to the level if they were to take James Pierce, who we just had a conversation on, saying that he could potentially fall. And now it's like, hey, Nick Scorin's on the board, erase it. No, like we just had a conversation how James Pierce is very available for the Lions if he starts falling. Nick Scorin, it's like, okay, Nick Scorin is probably like a beginning of the second round type of player. So am I saying that's the perfect fit for the Lions in the first round? Absolutely not. Not terrible. He's not a terrible player, but transitioning to the NFL, I want a guy that's on the opposite side of Hutch that can get to the quarterback consistently. And there's some question marks with that with Nick Scorton. I understand at Purdue, but now then he gets to Texas A&M and he's around a couple first-round guys, couple top 3 guys. Like, he's not a bad player. I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm taking him in the second round, not the first.
All right, we agree to disagree. We'll move on here. Get to the second round. All right, that's Nick Scorton. And the second is Oluwafemi
All right.
Oladejo. So
He'll end
second
up being
round, we had him in the third, I think.
Yeah.
But still, he believes he'll be probably in the second round. But listen, we've talked a lot about him. He's intriguing. Let's say, okay, how about this? This will be a fun one before we move on, because we don't have to dive into we've been talking about Femi, but we all have typically edges in the first 2 picks. Imagine Nick Scorton and Femi was the first 2. How would you feel?
I think you would be happy with that. If you say no, I think you would be.
I'd be hoping. I'm
Scorton
not going
and
to be
Femi.
the draft sucks because you haven't seen these guys hit the field yet. But again, second round, you're taking Oladejo over Kyle Kennard, Jordan Birch, JTT, Jack Sawyer. Those guys. One of them, Josiah Stewart. One of those.
I mean,
guys
at 60, to be fair, if you took Olamefi or whatever you pronounce his name at 60, you would have to guess a lot of those guys have gone before 60. I don't know what the article says, but that would be
that's actually a good assumption. That
would be my guess, because a lot of those guys, Klotz, like when I do PFF drafts and all those, like Jack Sawyer's not available. Like maybe Jordan Birch is available, but he's sometimes available even later. So it's like if you want to say in third round, but like a lot of those guys
would be so mad.
A lot of those guys you named
Jordan
are
Birch
off the board by 60. So I don't know if the article says that and brings that up, but.
Klotz, imagine
when you
Jordan
look at
Birch
the
is
second
right
round of the
there.
draft, we talk about this is a historic edge class, yes, but it's a historic running back class as well. Many say offensive linemen are going to start going. Corners, outside of Will Johnson and Travis Hunter, there is not a lot corner in the first round. One of those defensive ends, not all of them, but one of those guys I just named, or somebody else that we're not talking about. If we're sitting here at Oladejo, give me Deion Walker. Like, if we're being give me a guy that can affect for sure on the outside. This guy's played 1 season at edge.
I would just say more so third round.
Hey,
third round. Let's switch this to third round. It's not that.
Like, their third round, I'm all right with, but second round, like, they're going to be high quality guys that are like in a good tier of defensive end prospects that are going to fall because running backs, wide receivers, more offensive linemen, and DBs are going to start flying off the board. Like, there's no way that you don't have Jack Story, JTT, Jordan Birch. Like, I don't like
agree. Third round.
Going.
Third round.
Hey, I don't know Braden Swinson.
Not familiar. I want to look him up.
I've heard of him. I've heard, because people in the chat, I think it might be Malik. I don't know who, but someone's been talking about him. I'm not completely familiar.
9 sacks this last year, 83.3 PFF grade, which is higher than I have Oladejo.
That is up. Malik, I got you, brother. I know it when I see it. It's you.
I have Oladejo's up. I have Jordan Burgess up. He has a higher PFF grade than both of them. Pass rush grade. Guess what it is?
High.
I'll give you this. Jordan Birch is 81.3 and Oladejo is 65.6. Guess what Braden's is, boys?
87.
What'd you say? I would say like 86. 87.
Jordan Birch is 81.
Yeah, that's 86, 87.
90.3.
Damn.
Pass rush win rate 22.1 compared to Jordan Birch's 15.7.
Oh my gosh.
That's third round.
That's in the SEC too.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Going
610 snaps outside the tackle, 26 off ball, and 1 over the tackle. So he's just a true, just straight edge. 6'4", 250. I like this kid. I'm in.
I like it.
In the third
I
round,
like him more than some of the guys we've talked about. We've just never talked about him.
The next round, John Joyner. I don't know who that is. Doesn't even have a photo.
John Joyner is solid.
Is he Colin Oliver? I've heard of Colin Oliver.
Lions met with him too. A lot of sacks. Colin Oliver, production guy, not overly athletic.
Yeah, he's like, it says more of a
the
Sam.
6th round. Like Colin Oliver is probably a steal in the 6th round if we're being real.
Who is Chaz Chambliss?
Off the he's either a safety or an off the ball linebacker.
Wait, Colin Oliver.
That's the dude. Yeah.
By the way, can we go back to Colin Oliver? He has a 90 PFF grade.
Yeah, he was really productive this year.
He had this year
undersized though.
He only had 2 sacks this year.
Yeah, he's
He had
like
7 the year
6'2".
before, 5 the year before. So it's not like. Well, he only
Maybe
played.
I'm thinking of David Walker. I think
He only played 80
Walker.
snaps this year, so he must have got hurt. Must be an injured guy. Might be an injured.
Honestly, I didn't know. I didn't hear. I've never heard of Chambliss. Seen the name, but I've never.
Is that a Georgia kid?
Yeah, the Georgia Mike linebacker. Someone said Malik said he's an off-ball edge hybrid, but those are the names. Nick Scorton, obviously Femi, notably first 2 picks. We'll see. I can see some stuff happening. I mean, with Brad, you just never know. You just have to mentally prepare for like as many situations as you can. So we'll see how that one goes. But speaking of this upcoming season, boys, where are we at? Someone asked a question yesterday, which I thought was interesting. And we have this discussion often, but it's just true. Now that we're getting into the offseason, we talked about it when it happened, but we haven't really talked about it since. And someone yesterday suggested, when are you replacing Jared Goff? Like, when do you start drafting his successor? Where is your confidence? Like, if we had to do, maybe we can do a 1 through 10, where you were last year to where you are this year. Has it gone down? Has it gone up? Has it stayed the same? Let's say 10. 10 is like, we're getting it done with this dude. It's just a matter of when. We're winning with Jared Goff. And then 1 is like, no way, no how type of thing. So where are you at? Where were you at last year before the year? And then where are you at on March 25th?
5, Boone, I'd be like
5 is like
Russell Wilson might be able to get you in the playoffs.
No,
he's not washed, not a complete bum, but average. He's an average quarterback.
Can we do 5? He gets you in the playoffs. Can we say that's 5?
Yeah, we can go with that.
Like you're a playoff quarterback.
Well, this is about a Super Bowl, so technically 1 could be still you know what I mean? He could get you there. Well, why don't we do instead of 10? 10's too much. How about we do 1 through 5?
No, I have a number with the 10. I think a very
maybe
good
it's
number.
just that. Maybe that's too broad for that type of question. I don't know.
No, I think it's good. I have a number. I don't know. I don't know if it's in a line.
Like if you have a super low number, anyone in the chat, if you have a 2 or 3, you still believe the dude's a playoff guy. You know what I mean? It just you don't think he'll win a question Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Where are you at with a Super Bowl? Go ahead, Boons. Just want to clarify that.
Yeah, no, I think I have a number in my head. I don't know. Do you guys have pen and paper around you?
I do,
Boone.
Can you guys write down your number?
All right.
Can we just do this? Can we show our number at the same time, and then I'll break my number down?
So let's do our number from last year. Where were you last year?
Oh, last year?
Let's see. I want to see where it's at from last year to this year.
Last year, I would probably put him at
Hold on, write it down. Write it down.
Okay,
Play.
gave it away. You just gave it away.
I thought this was okay.
No.
We'll say
Jeff,
I
got mine. Last year.
That's
9.
okay. That's where you were last year?
9. And I have my this year number written down. On the count of 3, you boys have your number down for this year?
I'll just say it. You said 8.
For last year?
I was at a 7. I was at a 7, 6, 7.
I was at a 9. I was very confident.
I was I was, decently confident. But here, okay, where are we at now in 2025? All right.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Put it up in 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Can you see? I don't think you can see on mine.
Okay, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. But to be fair, we all had different numbers from last year too.
Yeah. Kind of aligns.
Yeah, I think we are aligned. I think there's a reason. Reason why, right?
Well, I think we were all 1 apart last year, and we're 1 apart this year. So
yeah, because I was at 9, someone was at 8, or Klotz was at 8, you were at 7, and we all literally just went down 2.
Yeah.
Which is fair. Okay, that could just be a fault of the scale that we have. We just aren't aligned on the scale.
So I'll go first because I have the lowest. I have 5, and it is a lot. I mean, the difference between in this 4 and 5 and 5 and 6 isn't dramatic. But where I'm at now, what do I think about Goff? I think Goff is a very good quarterback. And like most quarterbacks, notice how I said like most, he's not by himself in this. He needs a good situation, right? There's only probably, 1, maybe 2 quarterbacks, 3 on planet Earth that don't, but everyone pretty much does. That's okay. I think for Jared, he's not mobile, so it's hard. He doesn't, Like if he doesn't have a run game in some games, if you can't run the ball well, it's on his arm. That's how it goes. Typically, some quarterbacks can say, you know what, I'm going to be the reason we get this first down. I'm going to be the reason we get this touchdown. I'm going to be the reason we pick up this crucial first down, whatever it is. Jared's not that. So he does. I think he's more of built like a quarterback where you need others to elevate him, along with him elevating them. It's like more of a collaborative effort. Some quarterbacks are like, hey, I'm slinging this thing. We're winning this ball game. All you got to do is just have your hands like this. And we're going to take care. Listen, we're going to take care of it. Josh Allen, we've seen Josh Allen do that. Lamar Jackson do that. Lamar Jackson's never had any great wide receivers. And he's just been making it happen because he can do so much with his legs. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes. I think Joe Burrow he's always had great receivers, but you get the point.
I do.
You get the point. I think for Jared to win a Super Bowl, he needs a kind of like a Stafford situation, actually. But I think Stafford's maybe a little better, but Stafford had a great defense, ton of star players, a great head coach, offensive weapon. He had everything, Aaron Donald, and they got it done. I think that would probably be what
most quarterbacks need that, I feel like, right?
Yeah. And then there's a part, but Majority. Then there's a part of me with Goff where I do worry. This is where I think the difference is between him and Matthew is on that big stage. I don't worry about Matthew like crumbling. I don't know. Like, even though he led the league in pick sixes, like when we get into that Super Bowl, I'm like, this dude's gonna ball out. Like Goff, he does have a little bit of that where you're like, what Goff are we getting in, in this type of situation? There is that. So I will admit. All
right. I'll say this. My number dropped. I think there's one reason. And Jeff, I see what you're saying. I think our first point, I'm not going to say it's irrelevant. That feels mean to say. I just think that's majority quarterbacks outside of maybe 3 guys in the NFL. You need a situation. That was always for me like the argument with people who try to say you can't win with Jared Goff. You need the team around him, and they use that as a knock. And it's like, buddy, like every quarterback in the NFL needs the perfect team around them to win a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson needed it. Tom Brady, as good as he was, he needed players around him, right? Like they needed a draft well.
Everyone does.
Like everyone need that. So I think that point to your thing, Jeff, like I agree. So I'm just going to move that to the side. And little irrelevant point in my opinion. But I see what you're saying.
I think Goff needs it more than others.
If you want to argue that, that's fair. I think it's just as much as any other quarterback that needs to win a Super Bowl. Like I in my opinion. Now I'll say this: the thing that took me from a 9 to a 7, like last year, the 9. The reason I was so confident last year is because Jared Goff last year, when you're in the NFC Championship game, he was a reason you got there, and he was not a reason you lost that game. He was not the reason that you went out there and lost an NFC Championship game. That was your defense giving up all those points. That was Josh Reynolds dropping multiple passes. That was Jahmyr Gibbs' fumble. That was maybe some coaching decisions if you want to be on that side of it. It had nothing to do with how Jared Goff played. He played a great game. And Jeff, me and you walked away from Ford Field when we were at the watch party. And that was one thing we took away. We were like, hey, like Jared Goff, that was 0% of the reason why we lost this football game. Like he did what he needed to do, correct?
Yeah, in that NFC Championship game, yes.
Yes. So that was why I was at a 9 going into 2024 was because, hey, I just saw Jared Goff take you to the NFC Championship game. He was the reason you got there, and he didn't lose you those games. Like it was like, okay, you can actually win with this guy and go on a run.
Right.
The thing that switches me is the Commanders game. And seeing those games, the Texans game, the Bills game, and being like, wait a second. There are these big games, and as much as you want to say, oh, well, he's played good in big games, he has, but there's also the same side to where in some of these bigger games, he has fallen apart. And you've seen the interceptions and you've seen the turnovers, whether it was situations where he had to force it or not. It was like, hey, you're the starting quarterback of this team, and you're putting your team in a position to where they have to crawl back and they have to scratch and call to win this football game. That's what makes me nervous. And I think you boys might agree with me on this. Like with Stafford in Detroit, like there were times where people thought about him like that, right? Until he got to LA and until he got the job done and he had the right team around him. So I think it's a similar situation with Jared Goff to where it's like, I need to see him in these big games again, get over that hump. Like I have to see it to believe it. We saw it 2 years ago, and then it completely flipped to the different side. That's why I go to the 7, to where I'm like, you can win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, but there is that other side of it to where when you're in these big games in the playoffs, you could easily lose based off of the decisions that he makes. And that's where it's like, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just the truth, boys. Right?
Yeah.
Like, That's
Yeah.
it's like it's a situation at hand where you're like, I love Jared Goff. He's my quarterback. I'll stick up for him until boys, you guys know that. I mean, I reached out to him a million times. I love Jared Goff. He still crumbled under pressure in one of the biggest games in Lions history in a divisional round versus the Washington Commanders as a massive favorite at home. And you can't blame anyone else for it. And he knows it. He says it. Ben Johnson will say it. Dan Campbell will say it. And they know it. And they knows he needs to get better. But that's why he goes to a 7. Like, you can't be at a 9 out of 10 confident, 10 out of 10 confident, knowing what he did in the playoff run. You cannot.
No.
It's impossible. Yeah. If you do, you're just a slappy and you're lying to yourself. And you probably don't ever punish your kids, or you know what I mean? You don't ever have any discipline in your life.
Punish your kids.
You know, I'm talking about like
AP
discipline
style.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean.
There's no accountability in your life.
You think everything's going to go okay. You need to be hit with some reality for a little
Zero
bit.
accountability.
Real quick, Klotzy, before you go, I just want to address one comment. I'm sorry, because I know you're going to. I just want to address one, because Scott, like, I think Scott's misinterpreting what we're saying. Like, Scott said, Commanders beat Eagles and we had a practice squad defense. No one's talking about the Lions lost that game because, the defense. The defense wasn't good enough to win a Super Bowl. Like, they were just too injured, all this stuff. Goff played unbelievably bad.
Yes.
Like, if that is objective, you can't argue that. He played.
If you can't admit that, then you don't know football. You don't know real life.
That's okay.
He will admit it. Go ask Jared Goff right now if he had a good game.
Okay.
He'll look you dead in your eyes and be like, nope, I didn't.
It happens. You know, you crap the bed. It is what it is. But to Boone's point, had a great playoffs last year. Yeah. Had a great
the year before. So it's like, you just don't know what Jared Goff you're going to get. You could get a Jared Goff that could be a Super Bowl MVP next year. And I hope we do. Or you get the Jared Goff from the Commanders game and you're sitting there. It's like, what are those things that you shake? Those 8 balls. You're like, all right, what are we going to get next, boys? Here we go. What are we going to get? Is this girl going to say yes to me? Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, or no, she's not. Like, that's what it is.
Go ahead, Klotz.
I think you guys, like we said, we all had kind of the same drop down of about like 2. And mine really, I agree everything wholeheartedly what you guys said about the playoff game. But another reason that came in that playoff game that I think is going to be a factor from this year is Ben Johnson. The loss of Ben Johnson, I think, again, like, when you look at Jared Goff, especially in the pocket this year, his confidence, his mobility was sky high. Now, obviously, that has a lot to do with Jared Goff. But I think when you know you have the best offense in football and you have the best offensive coordinator in football, it's real easy mentally to be like, okay, I'm good. Like, the depth that I have behind me, the guys that I have in front of me, they're as elite as it gets. And I'm not saying that Johnny Morton's going to the Johnny Mo show, that he's going to go in there, puke on his shirt and piss down his pants. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is there is a drop off from Ben Johnson to the Johnny Mo show and John Morton. And I think when you have a quarterback that realizes that as well, it's not that he's going to be second guessing everything that Johnny Morton calls. I'm not saying that. But when Ben Johnson calls a play, you go, okay, Ben called it. There's got to be that chemistry being built. And I think that when you look at Jared Goff last year, it was the best Goff we've ever seen. McVay, Campbell, this last year was the best we've seen Jared Goff, especially when you look at the circumstances. I don't think we see that same Jared Goff. And I think a big part of that, not saying again that he's playing bad, but Jared Goff looked like a top 5 quarterback. He's probably going to look like a top 10 quarterback this year, is the loss of Ben Johnson. So that's really where it lands for me, is the loss of Ben Johnson. And again, yes, we saw what Jared Goff can be in the playoffs, but you look, we're looking at the same play calls that had Jameson Williams throwing a flea flicker pass down the sideline that should have never been called. Like, I think there's a lot of factors offensively that happened, but Johnny Morton, Ben Johnson, that's the biggest factor for me.
Disagree.
So you think
that's fine?
I mean, I still think you see the same Jared Goff that you've seen the last 2 years. Like, I don't think it's the fact that Jared Goff's going to change who he is and how he plays. Like, it's going to be a very similar scheme. It's going to be a very similar offense. Johnny Morton even said, like, we're going to literally do the same stuff, except I'm going to add a few things to it that need to get better. And, like, I think that's a good refresher. Obviously, I'm not taking away from Ben. Ben's the best play caller in the NFL, or top 3. I just think Jared's at that level the last few years to where, like, he's in his prime right now. Like, you're not going to see Jared Goff take a step back. I just don't see a world where you're going to see that. I think he's going to still go out there and throw for over 4,000 yards, almost 30 touchdowns, and around 10 interceptions. That's what he did last year. That's what he did the year before and the year before. I don't see a world where it's different.
That's not what I'm saying, but we can both agree and you even said it was going to happen. Jared Goff was an MVP candidate for majority of last year.
I said this year, I think there's still a chance he's in that conversation.
Yeah, I think Jared Goff's a top 10 quarterback, but to be in the MVP conversation like he was, you got to be operating like a top 5 quarterback.
Which I think he can. In the last 4 years, he has like the most passing touchdowns in the NFL, like the most passing yards.
But a true MVP candidate. That's where he was last year. And in my opinion, I don't think he falls in that conversation this year. Doesn't mean Jared Goff's terrible. I think Jared Goff goes out there, throws for 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. But there's a level where you just saw when Jared Goff would take over a game. And I don't think we see that as frequently.
That's where I disagree.
Jared Goff went 18 for 18 on Monday Night Football last year.
He's still the same player. You still put him in the same scheme and similar play calls.
That's fine. Go ahead. That's just where we disagree. I'm not saying that Jared Goff's not going to throw for 4,000 yards. That's not what I'm saying. I think he goes from looking like a top 5 quarterback last year to a top 10 quarterback where he's looked the most of his career.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a little bit of that has to be a little recency bias, I guess, with fans. Like, yeah, we just saw, a pretty rough performance. I mean, I see it. Shout out, a terror. I like calling him that, but he's defending Goff. I mean, I get it. I wouldn't argue Goff had a great game against the Commanders. You can make that argument. I'm not gonna. No, I'm not.
Wait, what he said? What?
I don't know. He's saying none of the stuff was his fault. The pick at the end was JMO. Like, okay, you can defend. You can. Okay.
I mean, he still made, and someone put it in there like, oh, he only made 2 bad throws for 2 interceptions. 1 bad throw for 1 interception could change a game. This is the NFL.
We're not talking about
scoring football.
They were all scoring drive, drives to go put up.
Yeah. Like if you're sticking up for Jared Goff in this situation, you obviously and with all due respect, with all due respect, 0 things about football. You have no clue what you're talking about. You shouldn't be able to talk football. You should not be able to put in our chat about football if you don't think Jared Goff had anything to do with the loss in the playoffs. You should not. You shouldn't be able to go on air. You shouldn't be able to text someone about football. I know it's freedom of speech, but if you just don't know something about a specific topic, don't talk about it. Like don't comment about it.
I mean,
it's very clear.
I think this is a great point. This isn't a shot, by the way. This is just the truth. I think we can say for most not most, the elite quarterbacks, like you look at that Bills offense, you'd say Josh Allen, best player, right? Yeah. Like Mahomes, best player. Lamar, best player. Joe Burrow, best player. Goff, if you look at this Lions offense, no one's going to say Goff's the best player on the offense. Like, you're not saying
no. I think with the MVP, obviously, I'm
not even talking about MVP.
Never going to win MVP just based off of that because of the playmaking abilities for some guys. But yeah, I think putting in those conversations, there are guys like Matt Ryan and stuff where it's like, who's the heartbeat of that team? Like that MVP, offense is one of the best ever.
I'm talking about just in general. Just take MVP out of it. Just in general, if you're just pointing at teams, you're like, that dude's the best player on offense. You know what I mean? I don't. You can't really say it about Goff, which is fine.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Still,
again, listen. I said with all due respect. I don't know who was it, Phil or whoever. With all due respect, someone said in there, I was a 3-sport athlete. Awesome. you still, if you're a 3-sport athlete, you should know that if someone costs you a game in any sport, like you can hold accountability. Like as a teammate, as a coach, you have to hold accountability to someone. Yeah, the defense wasn't great because you were hurt. Your quarterback just didn't play well. He went on the podium after the game. Hey, I just did not have a good game. Like that's on me. And then he felt like terribly dookie about it after.
Dookie.
I don't know what else to say. Like, it's just like, I hate the people who are so incompetent of being able to notice, hey, yeah, this was.
Well, speaking of good games, I know a player that probably will have a ton of good games. He's on the course golfing. Lions are out there. Good. They had like a little group golf today with the NFLPA. Hogan Hatton, Pat O'Connor, Aidan, and Kyle Pecco. I think I don't know who the interviewer is. I think he's somewhat a content creator, but he's they're all look at all the boys, man. Hogan Hatton is in the crew, the long snapper. He's just hanging with the boys. You know what I mean?
He's out there, Hutch looking healthy. That leg's looking healthy.
Look at it, it's crossed, Klotz. Look at he's leaning on it. I don't know which leg it was, but he's leaning on one of the leg. It looks like that might be the leg. That might be the leg. Look at those Jordans too.
I mean, look at Hogan's, dude. I mean, guys dripped. Look at those. And then you got Pat O'Connor in the back, and then you got Kyle Pecco.
I had no clue who the guy was on the left when I look at the picture, and I just said to myself, I feel like that's Hogan Hatton.
He looks like Bob Does Sports. That's what he looks like.
He does. I didn't know at first. I was today. I texted the boys and said, "All right, boys, we need to figure out. This is a little name game here. We need to figure out who these other boys are." We figured out Pat O'Connor. I thought it right away. I said, "That's Hogan Hatton. I know my long snappers." And then when I started doing more research, I went, "Usually he has a mustache. I don't know if that's Hogan Hatton. The beard really threw me off."
Yeah, and by the way, I want to get through. I forgot to acknowledge Adam. My bad, Adam. He's been throwing super chats.
Shout out Adam.
He threw $2 earlier. Appreciate Adam. He says, "Would you give it all up for Abdul?"
I don't think it's possible, to be honest. I don't think a team's willing to say, "I'll give up. I'll go back to 28."
I would sell my soul for Abdul. Okay.
I just can't. I don't see a world.
Would sell my soul, Adam. Hopefully that answers your question. He also threw $5 at us. He says, for Lions to win a Super Bowl with Goff, they cannot be in a situation where the offense has to play perfect like they have had the last 2 years. Draft defense. Well, I actually agree with that.
I agree.
Honestly, can I be honest real quick? I know we keep going back to this team. I think that might be the best and most fair argument that anyone has brought up about the Jared Goff and the situation in the divisional round, to where maybe those turnovers don't happen if you have a competent defense and guys are healthy. Like that's a legit argument.
Well, even in the NFC Championship game,
like if your offense isn't put in positions to have to make big plays, then you don't have to worry about those turnovers, and they're limited. I can handle that. I can't handle the incompetence of people saying, "Oh, turnovers weren't the." No, that was part of the reason. Now, what's the trickle down effect? If you want to argue that, then we can argue that.
Well, Adam also said Goff versus Dan Quinn defenses as a Lions quarterback, 2 TDs, 7 picks, 0-3. Well, it's not good. But appreciate you, Adam. Thank you for the super chats, my man.
Put that away quick. Michael Daly's gonna be mad.
But hey, this Goff, I know it's the Goff photo, but the real question is, and people have been talking about it in our chat, Aidan looking like himself next year. Is there any concern from you guys about Aidan bouncing back or maybe starting slow or anything like that, given the injury? Because I have zero concern. Zero.
He might start slow on the first drive of the game.
Yeah.
Possibly. That's maybe just like, hey, first snaps. I don't think they're going to play him in preseason, but that's about it. Aidan Hutchinson, Boone has it written out. Aidan Hutchinson will be in that Defensive Player of the Year conversation all year, and no one in the NFL world, no one in Detroit, no one inside that locker room especially would be surprised if Aidan Hutchinson wins Defensive Player of the Year next year. So I expect 15, 16-plus sacks from Aidan Hutchinson, probably another interception, 2 or 3, 4 or 5 forced fumbles, a safety or 2, and a menace in the run game.
Talk to me.
Track
it's gonna
happen.
happen.
Boone, I'd rather you got it posted on you right now. The track that he was on last year was at least for the Lions, like historical.
He could have played.
It was right there.
He could have played average the rest of the year after the start he had, and he still would have won Defensive Player of the Year last year.
He would have broke every Lions record, like in terms of sacks, everything. I mean,
he could have taken like a step back after that Dallas game, and he still would have. Like it's just like what he was doing was historic. And listen, if and Dan Campbell said it a million times after the injury, if anyone comes back ready to go and comes back better out of anyone, it's Aidan Hutchinson. And like we saw him have a major injury at Michigan. Guess what he did? Came back and dominated and went to a national championship game. Guess what happened now in Detroit? Has almost a Defensive Player of the Year season. Gets hurt. Guess what he's going to do? The man's going to bounce back. The people, I keep seeing it a lot. Like there are actually people out there that think he's going to take a massive step back.
I can't believe
there's zero chance in the world that Aidan Hutchinson takes a massive step back coming off this injury. Like this is a guy who's like one of the hardest workers in the entire NFL. If anything, he's going to come off this injury even better, and he's going to come in. He has something to prove this next year. Wants to win a Super Bowl. Wants to win Defensive Player of the Year. Do not count Aidan Hutchinson out this year. I've already said it before. I think he goes out there and gets 16, 17 plus sacks in 2025. And I think he does it just as dominant as a force as he was last year before he got hurt.
I hope there's a prop for it before you go, Jeff.
Yeah.
Where you can bet on first drive, defensive drive for the Detroit Lions of 2025, Aidan Hutchinson having a sack. Like
There will
it
be, yeah.
reminds me of remember when the Vikings played and Adrian Peterson played the Lions and AP tore his ACL. First handoff of the game was a 75-yard touchdown. Like I could see that happening for Hutch on the defense.
First drive. Oh my gosh. And we don't know who they're playing yet, do we? For first.
No.
Imagine if it's like the Rams again. Because I think we played the Rams. Imagine if it ends up being the Rams and Stafford.
Better than the Eagles.
Dominated Matthew Stafford last year. Dominated.
Go ahead though, Hefe.
No, I mean, I don't have much to add. We're all on the same page. I don't know why people would assume he will. I'm more worried about Aleem McNeil. Not that long term, but I think off the rip. Starting off slow when you're talking about that, I would worry more about Aleem McNeil because the ACL is not is different from a clean break. For sure. And coming off an MCL the year before. The problem with Aleem, though, is like he really wasn't showing you that kind of elite side. There was like games here and there. Like I think he had like a 2-sack game at one point. I can't remember. Maybe it was versus the Packers.
Cowboys, after Hutch
was it the Cowboys? Okay, so he had like a 2-sack game, and he had a couple other games where it was like, oh, that's Aleem. But there was no consistency throughout the whole year before he got hurt. To where the problem with Aleem, it's like coming off an injury and you still haven't seen like a full season out of him. That's where it's like a little with Hutch, it's like you know what you're getting.
Yeah,
like the level he can get to.
Hutch's injury was like significant, but I do like broken bones, and I know what did he break? So I always mess up like
tibula.
Like
femur,
that is
sorry.
devastating.
Yeah, so.
But again, the athlete that Aidan Hutchinson is, his frame, like Aleem McNeil coming off a torn ACL, like tearing ligaments in his knee, that concerns me more than Hutch breaking bones. Now, again, neither one is favorable. Like you don't want to have either happen, but Aleem ACL concerns me more.
By the way, Pistons just won. Dante said Pistons 122, Spurs 96 final, 41-32 record now. I think they might have jumped. I don't know for sure if they jumped up a seed. They were only 2 games back from Indy.
They're still in the 6th seed as of now. I don't know if it's updated. Oh, this has 41 wins or 40 wins right now, so it hasn't updated.
Yeah, well, they're on their ass.
I want to see something. I took a bet where it was a Duran double and Pistons money line.
Because there was no Cade tonight, was there?
And Duran didn't have a double, of course, dude.
I thought I saw it might have been Eric.
No Cade. No.
Yeah, say no Cade.
Marcus Sasser had 27 off the bench.
That's his back-to-back games, 20+ points.
Yeah, that's big. That's like you're starting to get
if he starts hitting like that off the bench right before playoff time starts and Malik Beasley keeps cooking, you got Ron Holland playing the way that they are. Like that bench, if that bench becomes a threat, like Pacers, Knicks, they have
teams are going to be a little
team. Like there's no reason that you should just write off the Pistons instantly. The Pistons could very well win a playoff series, especially if the bench is playing like
real quick too. The scoring tonight. With no Cade, you have Tobias 15, Asar 14, Jalen Duran 14, Tim Hardaway 12, Dennis Schroeder 7, and then off the bench you have Marcus Sasser 27, Beasley 13, Ron Holland 8, Isaiah Stewart 4, and then you have a couple guys with 2 or 3. Like that's so spread out. That's like a legit top to bottom.
By the way, next tomorrow the Bucks play Dante, and I just got notification probably about 30 minutes ago on my phone that Damian Lillard has a blood clot.
Oh, that's actually
brutal. That's scary.
In his foot, I think it is.
That's not good.
Yeah, either way.
That's what happened with the Chris Bosh thing. But the thing with his was I think his ended up going up to his lung. Like it started in the leg.
Yeah, Lillard, he's ruled out indefinitely.
Yeah, when you have those blood clots, I was like with Asar, you can't play until you get cleared.
Yeah, Asar just got over that.
Those are serious. That's a very serious injury. Jeez.
I mean, praying for him.
Yeah,
but
yeah, no, it's the Bucks lose a big star there.
Yeah, that's
on the optimistic side, the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
Pistons gonna be hoping that they can get the 4 seed.
Blood clots are scary. Clotsy.
Yeah, fuck those things. That was still like terrifying.
Clots.
Oh my gosh.
Just
that stuff scares me.
I wake up the next day and I'm watching all the shows at our former employer and just clots.
To be fair, it's crazy you had a blood clot and Lukas Klotz. Like
that was something. Because I like, you boys know, like I take care of myself, like as far as like health
Yeah.
and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck?
Scares me because I don't. And what's gonna happen to me if you take care of yourself? What happens to
I was,
someone like
I was
me?
taking a piss in Unk's bathroom, and then I wake up. It's probably like 45 seconds later. I was like looking down, taking a pee. Next thing I know, Junk's out, but Unk's right in front of me. It's like standing over like a guardian angel, and I like look down, and I'm like, dude, get the fuck off me! Like, what's happening? Unk's just like baffled. Unk got me though.
Shout out,
Smacked
Mike.
my
Shout
head.
out, Mike.
Got a
dude.
good
Shout out,
sternum
Mike.
rub.
That's crazy though, dude. Lucas Blood Klotz.
Lucas Blood Klotz.
That's
John.
it's such the name and that happening is just insane.
Yeah, some things just happen. It's just it's just how it goes. But we got Klotzy here, so
Come on now.
he's battling. The ball knower's here, and the ball knower's actually going to be hosting trivia.
Yeah, I'm
Come
excited
on
for
now.
this.
By the way, I added some things, and then we got
Hold on. You,
Jeff-
you didn't know. You didn't see, did you? Welcome, one and all. Welcome, one and all, to Trivia Tuesday with Crunch Time Sports. We'll be testing Jeff and Booner's trivia knowledge about various subjects. Today, if I can get this top button, we've been talking all year, pretty much the last couple weeks, about NFL free agency. So,
Jeff, do you have your paper?
I have
10
my
questions. 10 questions, multiple choice. The boys will go through. Today I have 5 Lions questions and 5 NFL. But the winner, obviously the most out of 10, will get the W. We'll be doing this as a series, at least till the regular season. Maybe we'll carry it on, but through the offseason, every Tuesday, we will have Trivia Tuesday at Crunch Time Sports. Fellas, are you ready?
I'm
What
pumped up.
the hell is the elevator music?
Come
No,
on.
this is good
it's
trivia
like,
music.
it's like, hey, you know, when it's like they pan around, it's like, hey, contestant number 1.
Booner! Thank you,
Contestant number
thank you very
2.
much. Thank you very much.
Jeff Kuiper. Oh,
He
okay.
hit-
Docs.
Oh,
minus
oh.
1.
Hey, I got one. Hey, come back to me. Hold on. Booner!
Number 1 overall pick material, though. Number 1 overall pick. All right, fellas.
Brian
All right,
Branch, baby.
I have a
Booner.
layout. I want to see if this layout works. If you load up the graphic, I'm going to
Yeah,
click
I'll
this
get
layout.
them in order.
I'm
real quick.
pumped up. I'm not gonna lie, Jeff. By the way, it's me versus you all off season. I'm gonna destroy you. I don't care.
I
what we
know,
do.
Boone. I texted you today because shout out to Adam. You found me and Adam used to do.
I found
trivia,
the old things. Yeah.
and I am. You know what my flavor is? I love Family Feud. Like if the boys ever go on Family Feud, we would.
Me
go.
too. I enjoy it. I used to play it on my phone all the time.
So, but trivia. Not
To
the
be
best.
fair,
Let's go.
I'm
you
not
might
a
not
great
be good at trivia. I'm just an idiot. Like I'm just not a
Hey,
smart
Boone,
dude.
don't say that. Don't play
but-
dumb now, Boone. Don't.
No,
Yeah, watch
I
Boone
mean-
get like everything right though.
I'm just not- I'm not a smart guy.
Stupid.
I'm not a smart
Boone,
guy.
Boone, you're smart. You're a smart individual. Don't sell yourself short. I will say though, boys. Okay.
I think I'm like street
none
smart.
of these questions are difficult, but they're all obviously they're multiple choice. It's not like I'm throwing like curveballs at you. A lot of them, especially the NFL, are like they're like dudes that we've talked about before. So we got the crunch time effect on it, but they're not just going to be gimmies. They're not going to be
Okay.
easy.
How about this rule? Me and Boone, we have to turn off chat. That's a rule.
Okay,
So,
turn it off now.
'cause the
Turn it
chat
off
will
now.
help. They're
I
smarter
see
than
the
me.
question down there. Should I not look at it?
I'm not seeing it. I'm not.
I don't
looking.
think you
I
can
won't look.
read it.
I won't look. Okay.
All right,
My
pop it
chat's
up.
off. I'm in the
All
private
right,
chat.
boys.
I'm nervous.
Question number 1. Jeff, you got the layout ready that you want?
Yeah,
Whatever?
throw it up, and then I'll see.
All
what this
right.
is.
The
Oh,
Go
hold
back to the 3 square one.
Oh, it's not big enough.
Covers-
Okay, that's
covers
fair.
Oh no.
All right, we'll do it this way.
All righty, boys. Question number 1, NFL free agency edition. The Detroit Lions, they lost
no.
Carlton Davis, but they
No.
brought in DJ Reed, 5'9" corner. What college did DJ Reed go to?
Can I go get a
A,
Sharpie real quick?
Iowa State. Feel free, Boone, if just lock
Um,
in these answers. B, Temple. C, Kansas State. Or D, East Carolina, ECU, the Pirates on the East Coast.
I think
We're
I've
gonna let
seen
Boone-
this. I've seen this before.
You have. All of these are going to be things like that. Whereas, like, you've seen it. You know that you know the answer, but it's going to be hard to pick.
All right, I got it. I have no clue what this is, but I'm guessing.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
gonna guess.
We'll
two.
go one at a time. You both have them
No,
written
no,
down,
we both
correct?
throw it up.
Same time. 3, 2, 1. Throw it up, so we can't change answers.
Okay.
All right, I have an answer.
I don't know. I think I'm wrong, but it's okay.
All right, fellas,
know where
and
DJ
I
Reed
want to
went.
see your answers in 3, 2, and 1. DNA. All right, for both of you.
No.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
turn
I
it
gotta
up.
turn
Let me
it
turn
up.
it up. I got it. All right,
That's
hit it
tough.
again.
Where did he go?
Hit it again.
Kansas
Okay.
State.
Where'd
Man
he
is a
go?
Kansas State Wildcat.
Oh!
Kansas State Wildcat. DJ Reed. All right, let me load in the next one, fellas. Question number 2.
I felt good about East Carolina.
I felt
All
good
right.
about Iowa State. This is not good.
All right, fellas. Question number 2. Recently signed defensive tackle Roy Lopez joins the Detroit Lions after playing in Arizona for the Cardinals. But which NFL team drafted him? A,
Got it.
Got
Arizona
this.
Cardinals. B, the Tennessee Titans. C, Dallas Cowboys. Or
Got
D, Houston Texans. All right, both you got it?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
D.
D.
Did you say B?
D.
Oh.
D. Houston Texans. That was probably the easiest ones. That was the gimme if I had
I
to say,
needed a warm
fellas.
up though. Good job.
Well,
Clark.
1-1, yep. All
I
right.
needed that.
Must
I
be
needed-
shaking off.
needed to
Okay,
feel
you got a little
something
bit of
here.
confidence. Yeah, come on. Question number 3 now.
Oh,
Open it
Jeff,
up.
good luck, brother. He is tough, dude. Oh, man.
Which team signed Detroit Lions former lockdown corner Kendall Vildor? Kendall Vildor was not brought
Oh,
back
no.
by the
You
Detroit
don't know
Lions, and he was signed by
Got it.
another team. And if you can see the theme, boys, okay, Southern team, just take a guess. It's one of these teams. A, Miami Dolphins, B, Jacksonville Jaguars, C, Atlanta Falcons, or D, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I got it.
Jeff, you have your answer locked
I
in.
don't-
Booner, let me know when you're
We got,
good.
what, 30 seconds?
I'll give you a 15-second clock here.
I'm
15.
between 2 right now.
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9,
I'm locked
8.
in.
7. All right.
Wrote it down.
Booner's locked
I'm
in.
wrong. I know it. That's
Fellas,
tough on my
get your
end.
answers up in 3, 2, 1. B, Jacksonville Jaguars, and D is the correct answer. Tampa Bay
No.
Buccaneers.
I was like, there's no way that
Tampa Bay
those guys in
Buccaneers-
Tampa, as smart as
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are, they would bring Kendall Vildor.
The Buccaneers said, you know what, we lost Carlton Davis to the Lions, but we're gonna stab him in the back here. We're bringing in Kendall Vildor, cornerback 1. Him and Antoine Winfield will be a dynamic duo to help run the NFC
Shut
South.
up.
I want to see the chat right now to see how many people actually.
I know.
remember.
I don't. Yeah, I think the last
So
one
that was
we-
question number 3, correct,
That's a
boys?
good question, Klotz.
that was 3. Yep.
All right, question number 4. We're loading it up.
All right.
Question number 4. Former All-Pro level safety Will Harris found a new team in
I
2025.
know this.
Where has he landed? We lost All-Pro lockdown corner Kendall Vildor, but last year we lost Will Harris. He
Locked
was
in.
with the Saints, but where has he landed? A, Washington Commanders, B, Carolina Panthers, C, Seattle Seahawks, and D, Cincinnati Bengals.
I got it.
All right, both of
got
us
it,
are
too.
are both you guys locked in?
Yep.
I'm locked in.
3, 2, 1.
A.
A
Oh, we
is
got it.
correct.
Also,
So,
no,
Boone,
no,
you
no,
have
no,
2
no.
correct so far. Jeff, you have 3.
Should we
Correct?
play some music like very quietly, like super
Yeah,
low, like
play the theme song while we do it.
Yeah, the theme song.
Yeah, let it just repeat. All right, let me remove these from the stage real quick.
we could turn it down. I don't know how to do that.
I got it. Oh wait.
All right.
That's perfect.
Question number 5. This is going to be the last question related to the Detroit Lions, and it's a tough one. So if you guys get this, I'll genuinely be impressed. But let's see here. Question number 5, the last related to the Detroit Lions. The Lions played all 4 of these wide receivers last season. Which one joined Aaron Glenn on the New York Jets? A, Booner's boy Mac Hollins. B, Tyler Johnson, wide receiver from the Los Angeles Rams that cut up the Lions week 1.
This is so
C,
tough.
Yeah, I don't know.
Diami
this one.
Brown.
did
Diami
Mac
Brown,
go?
Washington Commanders number 2 guy, went off kind of later in the season, had a good
Tim
game.
Jones?
And D, Tim.
Who's Tim
Jones?
Jones?
I don't
Tim
know.
Jones played for
What's
the
that?
Jacksonville Jaguars. If you remember in the preseason,
Mike
had a
Jones.
big catch last
Is that
year.
the thing?
Tim Jones out of Jacksonville. So,
Oh,
fellas, ponder
Boone, this-
your,
Boone,
ponder
this is
your answer.
basically,
Let me know
Boone,
when
this
it's
is
locked in.
we're taking a shot.
yeah. I'm gonna take a shot here.
I bet only one person in this chat knows.
I'm just gonna swing.
And if I tell you, it gives it away. Kind of a clue there, though.
I'm switching my answer now.
Wait a
Shouldn't
second.
have said that.
I shouldn't have. Spoke too soon, but hey.
All right,
make
got it.
interesting.
Got it. Does that mean it's a
Gave it
Booner guy?
away. Yeah,
Does that mean it's a Booner guy?
It does, I can't say
Does that
anything.
mean it's a
All right,
Booner
ready?
guy? Yep.
Alrighty, boys. In 3, 2, 1.
B. Rams. Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, Klotzy, you gave it away with that
I
one.
Can't do
did,
that,
hey.
Klotz.
My bad, boys. My bad, boys. Said too much. Hey, congratulations, though. Not tie game, Jeff. You're up by 1, but it's a close game.
Jeff's got 4 out of the 5. I mean, this guy's like, I'm not good at trivia. The man's
Well,
only missed
I'm going to
one.
be honest, Boone. These are kind of easy a little bit.
Yeah,
you
they're
only
light.
missed 2. I mean,
I
you've
know
only-
I'm 3 for 5, but hey, it's a
kinda
battle.
cooked. I
right
mean,
now.
Klotzy's giving us. He's letting us off easy today. I like this one.
All right, here we go, fellas.
It might get harder, NFL. Man. Here we
Question
go.
number 6.
Here we
Which
go.
one of these quarterbacks signed in free agency will be playing on their 4th team in 4 seasons? All of these guys were free agent quarterbacks. A. Jameis Winston. B. Gardner Minshew. C. Bailey Zappi. Or D. Zach Wilson. Which one? They've all been passed around
Good
like
one.
Kim
That's a
K.
good one.
But which one has been passed around 4
Did
times?
you say pass around like Kim K?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got an answer.
This is so tough. It's between 2.
Yeah, I think we're thinking the same too. I'm just going with my gut.
Such a tough one.
All 4 have been signed this year already. All 4 have played on different teams.
I like game show host Klotz. He's killing this right
Oh,
now.
I got it.
All righty, fellas. Let's see the answers in 3, 2, and 1.
B. Oh, it said the same.
Oh!
I just need- I need Jeff to admit.
The correct answer.
Because he was with the
only
Jags,
quarterback to
Raiders,
play for
Colts,
4
and
teams
and
in
now
under
I don't
4
know.
years is Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett played for 5 teams in the last 4 years. Kind of surprising there.
who is
But
he on
alrighty,
now?
fellas.
Gardner Minshew.
Chiefs.
So he was on
Chiefs.
the Chiefs, Jags, Raiders, and Colts.
Colts.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like trying to think of Jameis's. I know he was with the Giants now, the Bucks, the Browns, and I was like trying to think of a
That was
4th
it.
I couldn't.
That
So
is
I think
it.
that was it.
All righty,
Alright.
so question number 7, fellas. The Denver Broncos signed former All-Pro safety Talanoa Hufanga to a 3-year, $39 million deal.
Oh no, Boone.
What round was
You know
Hufanga
this?
taken
No.
by the 49ers and John Lynch? A, 3rd round. B, 5th round. C, 5th round. Or D, 6th round.
I have an
All-pro
idea.
guy.
I'm gonna go with just my gut.
Me too. I think I saw a graphic one time. I'm trying to the picture thing where you like memory by the picture. I think I saw a graphic one time with this number, and I'm just gonna stick with it. So I'm ready to go.
All righty, boys. Answers in 3, 2, and 1.
C.
C and A.
5th round pick.
Booner.
Oh,
5th round
Tie
pick.
game.
That's
5th
that
round
picture.
pick. 5th round pick.
good job, Boone.
The memory picture thing.
We got a tie game, and I didn't
Damn.
address this.
5-5.
If there's a tie, a 5-5 tie, I did make a graphic for it. Fuck. There will be a top 5 question. I'm going to give you guys a top 5 question, and whoever can guess the top 3 quickest wins. But moving on, if that's the scenario, just throwing it out there. Question number
This is a
8.
battle, Boone, huh?
Yeah, this is good. 5-5 with 3 to go.
All right, fellas. Miami Dolphins new wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Akine had 9 touchdowns in 2024. But how many catches,
Oh.
or I messed this up, my fault. How many catches did the 9 touchdowns come on? A, 31 catches. B, 41 catches. C, 32 catches. Or D, 29 catches. Had a ton of touchdowns. Very little catches, fellas.
I
Which
think
one?
29, 31, and 32 should be illegal from you, Klotz. That's so close, man.
Diabolical.
That's
Diabolical.
unbelievable. That's
Here's a
unbelievable.
Oh, this one's tough. Because I remember seeing graphics about like how he's had a small number of catches, but this is through the whole like.
I got it. I'm locked in.
Oh
Don't cheat over there, Jeffrey.
no, I'm not. I'm just like in my guts. I got 2. I'm just gonna.
I guess, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna
literally,
have
I
to
guess.
pull that out. I'm my gut's telling me a number. I'm gonna have to just stick with it. Screw it.
Alrighty,
All right.
fellas. Got
I
them
got
locked in?
Yep.
Alrighty, answers in 3, 2, and 1.
See.
Oh
We said the same thing.
yes, Boone. Let's
Oh
go.
my God. I
I
can't
almost
shake them. I
I
can't
almost
shake
picked-
them. All
I
right.
almost picked A.
I almost did A as
fellas.
well.
I will say,
So-
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
That
We
was
got. We've both got 6 out of 8. That's a good number, dude. We're
Yeah,
good
you're
at this
shooting
thing.
well from the line, I'd say. Question number 9. How many combined tackles has Junkyard Dog and now New England Patriots linebacker Robert Spillane
This is a serious
Kyle,
question.
over the last 2 seasons?
of course Spillane.
A, 212. B, 295. C, 278. Or D, 306 tackles. Which one are you taking?
I mean, this is crazy, dude.
A, B, C, or D?
I'm good. I'm locked in. Sounds like Mario Kart music, kind
I
of.
think I'm.
I guessed again, Jeff. There's no way you
Yeah.
know this. This is
Yeah,
definitely
stop
just
acting
a,
like you know it.
this is just to throw you know what at the wall and hope it sticks.
Okay. I got it.
All right, fellas. Let's see the answers in 3, 2, and 1.
See. Oh my gosh, Jeff, you gotta
Dude.
stop. It's unreal.
Booner. Jeff.
Okay,
You're
wrong.
Wrong. He is second in the NFL with 306 combined
That's a lot.
tackles
He's
over
averaging
the last
150
2 years.
plus.
Robert Spillane. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you?
No
Give it
clue.
out
I
to
didn't
us
think he had
all day.
150 either
All right,
year.
so it's still tie game, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 going into the final question.
All right, fellas. Number
This
10.
could
Then
be
we're going to
it.
break
This
down
could
the
be
top 5
it.
question. This
This
could
is
be
big.
it. Which NFL team has given out the most contracts so far this NFL offseason? This is in-house and out-of-house, so re-signing and acquiring and trades. A, the New England Patriots. B, the Minnesota Vikings. C, the Washington Commanders.
Lock.
And D, the New York Giants.
Yeah,
And I have updated this after today, after like the last hour.
Locked.
This is too easy, right?
Well, I think Klotz, you saying that gives it away. I mean, I'm just
I
saying.
like this host. He helps his people out.
Yeah, I mean, he gives
All right,
hints
go on.
out
Ready? All right,
before
I'm
he
ready. I'm
gives
ready.
the answer. Look
All
at him,
right, let's
so
see
mad.
the answers in 3, 2, and 1.
I mean, it could end up. I got A. It could be the Giants because they just signed a quarterback. Oh, we both got it right. Yeah, but
Now, I think I hit the ding ding. It's both of you are incorrect.
this is the Giants.
No.
So
It's
we're
the
both wrong.
Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders have made the most contract signing, both in-house and out-of-house, so far. If you look, I was
Wow.
astonished, boys. I thought it was going to be the Patriots
No
for
clue.
sure. It's the Commanders. The amount of guys that they've
Wow,
re-signed
that's a
and
good
brought
one,
in, like
Fox.
if you look,
That's
they've
crazy.
brought in a lot of guys. They're bringing in like Will Harris. The amount of contracts they dished out. All right, fellas. So there's no
So-
graphic for this one.
Can we do? I think we should like have to write it out so we don't have to just yell it. Like you said, the first one to get the top 3.
Yep.
So
We'll
maybe
write
we
it out.
write it out just so we're not just yelling because we could just both yell and just over each other and it's like who said it first.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I
Okay.
agree.
So write out your top 5, and then whoever has the most accurate.
We could keep trying it if we don't get it. We could keep writing
Okay.
it out.
Cool with that.
Alrighty, fellas. Who had the most receptions in the NFL this year?
Oh,
Top 5. Top 5 guys in receptions.
You have to go through top 5 catches.
Yep.
um,
And we'll just do it like this.
No
Whoever
order?
has the most on there will be correct. If you tie, come up with a different question. But slowly through process of elimination, who led the NFL most top 5 reception leaders in 2024?
oh, this is really hard. I actually don't know. I know 2 of them, 2 of the 5. That's it.
I will tell you this. You're gonna overthink the amount of receivers. Hint.
Well, there's only 5.
No, I said the most receptions in the NFL.
Like overall, number 1.
I
All
gave
right,
you
I
my
got
hint.
one.
Take
I
it
know
as
who
you
number
will.
1 is. Number 1 is Jamar Chase.
Yeah, but you got to get the most.
I got
out
it.
Of 5.
I got 5. I got 5. I'm just taking a swing.
Hold on, I'm thinking still. I got 1 more receiver.
It's not in order though. I wrote 5.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. It
5
doesn't
guys.
have to be in order. You just got to get the most out of the top 5.
Okay. I feel pretty good about this list.
I have 5 right now. Can we have to minimum 5 we can have?
Yeah, just write 5.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Oh wait.
Locked in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm locked. I got it.
All right. Booner, put up your 5.
I have Terry McLaurin, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, and CeeDee Lamb.
All right, Booner. So you have 2 of the top
Oh
5.
no.
Jeff,
Oh no.
let's
Oh,
see
no.
your list.
I
Who
have
won?
Brock Bowers, Garrett
Gr-
Wilson, Trey McBride, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
Brock Bowers is a
God.
good one.
Read your
That's
list
the-
again.
Sorry, I can't. It's not.
Brock
full.
Bowers, Garrett Wilson, Trey McBride, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase.
Jeff does have 3. He left out Amon-Ra St. Brown, and who was the other one they left out? Malik Neighbors was 5th, but Jeff wins trivia
Wait.
week 1.
Justin
With 3.
Jefferson's in the top 5.
No, he's number 6, Booner. Number 6.
So who are his 3?
He had Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, and Brock Bowers.
I had
Trey
the tight
McBride
end.
is top 5.
Yeah, top 5. Trey McBride was
I had the tight end.
4th with 111. Brock Bowers at 112. Malik Neighbors at 109. Justin Jefferson 103. And
Are you
top 2 in the
serious?
NFL.
Dude, I
with
took a
Jamar
big
Chase
gamble with the tight end.
and
I mean,
Amon-Ra
that's
St. Brown.
respect. I'm fine with losing.
I
Hold
took
on.
a gamble with the tight end.
Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra, and Jamar. I had 2. I had the top 2.
You did.
Justin Jefferson by
one
and
spot,
CeeDee Lamb right there too.
Does my receivers? Did I say you're overthinking the amount of receivers? Does
I
that
didn't even
make
think
sense?
tight ends. I thought it was.
I
strictly
wouldn't
wide
have either.
receiver.
No. I had the tight ends. To be fair, I'm not trying to brag. I had him before you said that. I knew Brock Bowers was in there, but I was like Trey McBride.
What did you say, Klotz? Did you say wide receivers?
No.
Yeah, I said you're gonna overthink the amount of wide receivers.
Are you sure that the original question was the top 5
Boone,
wide receivers?
I said who had the most receptions in the NFL in 2020.
Boone's trying to get like a disqualification.
I'm just
Hey.
checking because I literally, if we're being honest, I'm looking at it now. 1, 2,
And
3, 4. I had
CD was a
4 of
good
the
one.
top 5. I have 4 of the top 5 wide receivers. If I would have, I didn't think tight ends at all. I literally had the 4 of the top 5 wide receivers. That's tough.
Hey,
Oh,
good first week of trivia though, fellas. That was fun.
Honestly, how did I forget Amon-Ra St. Brown? I mean, that's
That's what
embarrassing.
you had Garrett Wilson
Yeah.
in there. I know Amon-Ra. Like, bro,
Because
what
I
the
know
hell?
Garrett Wilson
That's- I
had
was shook. I
14
was like, Jeff
catches in the
Reed. I was
game.
like,
Brock Bowers, Booner, you know better. I didn't think tight ends at all, dude. Not once didn't come across my mind.
That was my risk. I was like, I'm going some tight ends.
We'll
I
have a
literally, if we
different-
did top 5 wide receivers, I would have had 4 out of the 5.
you would have Boone.
But
that
then,
was-
but
In
then,
the chat,
but then
we'll
I
have a
wouldn't have put
different
Brock Bowers.
theme next week. Make sure drop in the chat.
That's
Hit us up on
crazy,
Twitter what
bro.
theme you want next week. Doesn't have to be football. Doesn't even have to be sports sometime if there's a big theme that we got going in the chat. So make sure you drop ideas. Keep
Hey,
it
Trey
creative.
McBride, kudos to him. That's
Yeah,
I had
we
no
bet on
clue.
him. We bet on
And
his
no
catches last
touchdowns.
year.
I know we did, and I mean, the one game he had like 12. I didn't even think about it. That's a big W for Trey McBride, man. Good for him. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, that's Hey, Ball the Lie says you should invite viewers. I wonder how many the viewers got because they were. I think you probably. I didn't see the
Dude,
chat. I don't-
they were having fun within the chat.
Yeah,
Were they,
I
were
think
they
it's fun.
cooking?
What do you say?
Were they cooking? Were they like right on a lot of them? Did you see?
There's a lot of people who are, especially on the line stuff.
Next
I
week
thought
we
that was
gotta
pretty
do, like-
difficult.
Next
do
week
you
we gotta
guys
do
love
like
how
college
it-
basketball or something.
Okay, that's fair.
Final
Maybe
Four.
I'll throw some college
The
basketball.
Final
That'd be
Four.
fun.
We gotta do each week
Boone,
like what's
Boone
going
wants
on.
it in his ballpark. He's like, let's.
No,
do
I'm
college.
just saying what's going on that week to make it to where it's like relevant
no,
in
I
the
agree.
news.
Yeah.
I'll do
um,
whatever.
Final Four's coming.
Hey,
up.
I got my
Look
win.
at
We'll
that.
do whatever. All right, I'm cool.
Yeah, no, congrats. That was a respectable win. I mean, we both had
Hey,
6 out of 10.
You guys,
and then
do
we
you guys
went to
like
OT,
it where it
man.
was like both of you guys were getting answers correct, or do you want it to be
Yeah.
more difficult?
No, I like. I mean, that was fun. It was good. Yeah, it was a
It
good.
got
team.
harder as it went on. So I thought it was good. I think
I
I mean,
kind of easy, but then it got.
to be honest, if I'm being nitpicky, Klotzy, the ones with the tackles, those are like impossible. Those are just guessing ones. So I was like, I can't.
Gotta have some luck to win, Boone.
Yeah.
you do need a little luck to win for sure.
Come on now.
Xavier D said music questions. The problem with music, I don't think we could play music out. Like if we were gonna do like, so it'd have to be like historical.
You'd have to
facts.
name like who wrote the record and you name the song.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do that at some point. I would probably get like 1 out of 10.
Well, yeah, definitely drop stuff in the chat.
So what did I win? Am I going home with a
Well,
brand new
it's all
car?
off season. It's all off season.
Yeah. Hey, we got to think. We'll do
The loser has to do something, or
Yeah.
the winner gets something. I don't know. Maybe the loser has to buy the winner like a steak dinner.
No, the loser. There's got to be. We got to do it like on. Try to get some marketing out of this. We can get something to get like. The loser's got to post something. We'll think of what it is.
I think it's got to be like a dinner or something. Like
Like a
if I
punishment
lose,
type of thing.
if I lose, I have to spend my own money to buy Jeff like a nice steak dinner, and he can get whatever he wants.
You can take me on a date.
You
No,
wanna
it's just
dine
that the
them?
boys go
You
out, but I
wine
got to
and
pay
dine
for your
them?
meal.
Wine,
know.
yeah, you wine and dine.
Another pizza bet. Yeah, that's funny. People are selling
Jeff?
pizza.
No,
No, I'm out on that.
honestly,
With the shaved head.
can I be transparent
Hill.
with you, dude? The last couple days, I've been thinking about shaving my head again, dude.
This guy is so indecisive, dude.
So I don't know if that. I'll admit that's not even a good like punishment because I kind of debating that anyway. I had fun with that. That was great.
That was a fun
line of
good
questioning.
job, Klotz.
Yeah, I mean, not only just saying that because I won. Like it was close the entire time. So I like that. I like.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I was very evenly matched.
Mm-hmm. The Spillane. The
Spillane
junkyard
is
dog
Spillane.
one. That's crazy. Junkyard dog.
I'm actually excited. I can think of a couple March Madness questions right off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, we can do that next week. We can do March Madness. I'm down with that. I don't care.
Especially like 2010's March Madness, peak March Madness.
Yeah, we can do like that'd be fun. That'd be fun. The chat liked it too. That's all that matters. And eventually we'll get someone to sponsor the trivia. So
Yeah.
brought to you by Ford. Jeff, you're going home with a new car. I'm like, what?
That would be so funny.
It's like the
You got a
generic,
lifetime
like,
supply of
welcome to the
energy
car.
drinks.
Yeah, Klotzy's like, look outside. There's
It's like a big
car full of
ribbon.
it. Yeah.
Caleb
dude, that would
pulling
be
up,
unreal.
Caleb and Unk in the car.
Yeah, Caleb's like, new F-150 with
That'd be
Dan
crazy.
Campbell delivering the
Yeah.
keys.
I
like that.
You get a day with Jared Goff.
Just a scam.
You get a day.
Oh, that would be so funny. You could
You
just
get a
spend a
day
day
with yeah. After we talked about golf today, you get to hang
Oh.
with golf. Cool, hell yeah.
We could do like a free golf round or something. I don't know.
Booner says, Lions 57 says Booner loses, has to wear Ohio State. Jeff can't say anything about the Bears. Why is that like a punishment? I mean, people just
Yeah, the Ohio State thing's definitely, but I would not.
yeah,
do
me
that.
not saying anything about the Bears. Lions 57. You son of a gun, man. Son of a gun.
You son of a gun, man.
Hey, nobody. Thank you for the $2. Says loser has to
Oh.
place a money line bet against the Lions. That's sick.
No.
That is sick.
I hope Jeff wins then.
Why?
Your luck with betting when you bet on the Lions.
Oh,
when you win.
okay. Yeah, that's
Not saying that you always miss, but big games.
you can
not
say it.
allowed in Ford Field.
What? By the way, what's our one pizza bet, Jeff? What was that again? I can't remember. One of us lose, we have to eat a whole pizza. We have to buy it.
I think it
and
was
then-
you and I, Boone. It was you and I. What was
yeah, I
it?
don't remember us having a bet. I think you and Klotz made a bet over.
Oh, it wasn't you and Klotz. Me and Klotz. Klotz, what was that? I actually don't remember. That's not
I
good.
don't either.
But it was like a whole pizza. When we do it, we're definitely gonna do that place that Caleb keeps sending us those videos.
Oh yeah.
Gonna go get
It's
that.
his
I'll eat
spot.
that. I'll eat that whole pizza. Looks good. Okay, what was that? If
Oh, I
someone
like
in the chat
this.
remembers.
Xavier says loser buys merch for a lucky chat member, but you have to be a subscriber. We'll give away merch,
Yeah.
man. I'm cool with that at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
We'll do that regardless.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just regardless. I mean,
We should do that soon, anyways.
We
Yeah.
should do a
Draft giveaway. NFL
should do
draft
a-
giveaway. Give away
we
some
should do a
draft merch.
jersey giveaway. coming up here.
Yeah, we were doing one from. By the way, if you're entering March Madness this weekend, I mean it's continuing here. We're pushing. Malik says mailbag. If you could run an NFL franchise, which one would you run? And it cannot be the Lions.
Oh, good question.
This is a really good question.
I would. This is tough, dude.
I'd do the Raiders. I think
that would be a fun one. That would be like
Raiders
a fun
would be
one.
fun.
Historical. I'm trying to think. Like, would I do the Eagles? Maybe. I almost might want to do the Eagles.
Honestly, I'd probably do the. I'll probably do the Patriots. That'd be fun.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Patriots.
There's just a lot of pressure there, though. It's same with.
No,
the
yeah,
Chiefs.
you're right.
Same with the Chiefs. I would pick the Chiefs, but like it's like, oh, if I'm taking over now and then Patrick Mahomes leaves, like, good luck trying to find.
I would just love to get like Raiders fans, like Raiders fans, or like they used to be the Philadelphia fans of like the old. Like if you get Raiders fans pumped again, man.
Yes.
Last
Dude,
place you want to go play is a black fucking hole.
This might be an unpopular one, but I genuinely think, and maybe this is just me being Booner, I think if I took this franchise over, we would win in the first 4 seasons. Let me take over the Dallas Cowboys. I'd turn that place around so fast. Like, I feel like it could be a better GM or owner than
your
Jerry
fan
Jones.
base, though. Think about like,
but dude, I mean, I could do anything in the first year, and they'd be like, "Oh, this guy's awesome."
You got
JT says I picked the Titans. Great city, no history success. Yeah, pressure might be low on you. In Nashville, Tennessee, you're out there.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, ooh. And if you have any success, you're like a legend.
Baldo says I'd run the Bengals. Got to turn that shit around for my boy Joey B.
No, I'm not going to Cincinnati. No offense.
Yeah, not going to the Browns.
Yeah, is this like GM or owner? Because GM would be awful for Cincinnati. Because their ownership is. I mean, they're trying
Dolphins
to.
Would be fun. Dolphins have been.
Yeah, that's a tough one to turn around. Though I feel like everyone's tried. That's where I kind of look at it a little bit.
Hey, to your point,
New Orleans. New Orleans.
Tua shipped out of there in a day. Tyreek shipped out in a day.
New Orleans would be fun, dude. In New Orleans,
yeah.
like that'd be a good one. Wow, great question. Is there any other franchises we're missing? We basically named every franchise. Klotz is like, give me the Cleveland Browns.
No, fuck the Browns. Raiders and Dolphins would be my
Chargers. I would do the Chargers.
Chargers are really
Chargers go.
Patty Grimes says mailbag. Can the Pistons win some games in the playoffs versus the Knicks? Oh, they can do a little more, win some games. I think they can make it a series. I think
we should have a segment in the next couple of days about the Pistons winning a playoff series. Like, I want to talk about that. I feel like they can. Like I'm kind of sold on it.
Yeah, we can break that down more in depth because I have reasons why I believe they can. So, and I'm sure you do too.
I think they could go on a run, not just a series, like a legit run. But we could talk about that a different day. That'll be a good segment.
Yeah, that they're just. I mean, yeah, I don't want to get to. We'll get into that another day. JT says it'd be nice to get Ivy back for the playoffs. We'll see with Ivy. I mean, it would be nice, and I know.
Is there an update on him?
He was been at practice. Now, I don't know about participating in full 5-on-5 stuff, but he's out there like doing drills, working out. Like he's getting back. I don't know. I don't think he's been cleared yet to do like full on. You know what I mean? But you still have some time. I mean, you have a couple weeks. I don't know. I hope he comes back. I do. There's people out there that still believe that like they're better without him. Like it's like, dude, the dumbest thing ever. Like the Pistons were fine. They were good with Cade and Ivy together. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Just dumb.
Jeff's flustered.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Brain cells lost.
I mean, I understand coming back from injury. Maybe he's a little slow starting off or whatever, but it's like them playing together. That should have quieted all that this year when they were healthy on the court. You know what I mean? I don't know why that would even be a concern. Dave says Sean Payton doesn't get enough credit for the disaster he left the Saints in.
Credit or
get enough like flack, maybe he means.
All right, I was just saying.
Xavier says, "Who's the best gamer out of the three of you?"
Not me.
Nah,
I say Madden and NCAA. I'll work them.
I don't know about that because the last couple times I played, I beat you.
You did that, Boone.
I did. I beat him the last 2 times we played, and it wasn't like the last time was not close. It was like a 20
You
point
beat
game.
me a couple of times.
I
We
think
played 7-game series, We play 7
You
games
say
series.
that you're very confident. Maybe in Madden, I'm not good at Madden, but college football.
Boone's not bad.
I think I'm over 500 versus you. Like I do think I have a winning record.
I don't
versus you.
even have a PS5,
Which is
I don't
fair,
even have
but
the
you
new
can't claim.
Xbox.
But you can't
I
claim
can't
you're
even
better
play
than
the
me.
game. I walk
That's fair,
in
but
there,
then you can't
rust
claim you're better than
apply.
me, and I beat you. Like that's why you in Madden you're acting like you've beat. I have beaten you more times than you have beaten me.
I
in college
disagree.
football. No,
I
like
disagree.
that's actually a fact.
I
And then like, the
disagree
wins
with
that I have,
fact.
the
Good
wins
job,
that I have,
Xavier.
and
Good
Jeff,
job.
you know this. The wins that I have, Jeff will walk in. I'm up like 30, and he's like, "What's happening?"
No, I've walked in on some games where you guys are in some battles. Like
In
it's
college
it's a
football,
battle.
I have beaten Klotz more than he's beat me. Now in Madden,
I disagree.
I have no clue how to play
Look at
Madden.
Klotz.
Madden is a different demon, dude.
No,
Madden
Klotz
is
is
a-
good.
Klotz
Klotz
is
is good
good
at
in
Fortnite.
Madden.
Klotz is really good at Fortnite.
Yeah, I think we're all good in Fortnite in our own ways. I'm gonna be honest. We do play together.
Good
That's
skill
like our.
set.
That's why I tell people. I'm like, I got
Ro-
team
y'all
building
role players.
tonight.
Different
Yeah, we have
role.
like team building tonight. We hop on Fortnite, and I'm sitting there playing, and I'm like, we all have our own like I'm like Chris Bosh or like the Birdman on the Heat. Gentry's like LeBron. Jeff's probably like D Wade, and then me and Klotz are probably like I would say really very good role players.
Klotz is Mario
Ray
Trump.
Allen.
I'm Norris Cole. I am Norris Cole.
I'll take Ray Allen. I'll take Ray Allen. Just I hit big
Norris
shots
Cole.
when it's needed.
Who else
Yeah.
should I be?
I will say
I'd be Udonis.
one day,
Udonis Haslam.
anyone in this chat really good at 2K? I want to challenge. Listen. I
2Ks. I don't like
used
playing
to be
2K
good.
with
I just
Jeff.
haven't played in so long.
I rage quit versus Jeff the last time we played.
It's
I said
just-
I will never play you
yeah,
in 2K again.
I
Klotz, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
he's
So
gonna
I played
lie.
2K my whole life, right? And I went to college, worked with the college basketball program, and I played 2K versus a lot of people who
Here we
went on
go.
to play pro, people who like very good in the basketball world, right? There was one rule, and one rule always in 2K. And in this, if you didn't follow this rule, you were not allowed to get on the sticks. You cannot computer guard. You have to guard the ball. You
yeah.
cannot
I
play
don't
off-ball
computer guard
defense.
all the time.
Jeff,
I
the
don't.
whole time is in help, and he's just letting the computer just lock me up. And I'm like, buddy,
No, I
you
don't do
have
that
to
all
come
the time.
play. You have, and I said, I'm not
I
playing
know.
versus you anymore. I will
Because
not play you in 2K
I
if you
explained
don't-
I
if
got
you
to
don't-
be the center. I got to be the center to
You
help.
can do that, but you
I gotta
can't.
be
You
the
have
center
to
to
play
help.
on ball. If there is a situation where you get beat, you can switch and help. You have to play on ball in 2K.
Hey, Boone.
I will
Boone.
never play with you again.
Hey, Boone,
I
we
won't.
played. We played again.
I
We
won't
played-
play
we
with you
played-
ever.
we
And-
played
And
again.
then I don't even remember what happened, to be honest.
Oh, you know what happened.
But I
played
still
guard.
I don't respect people who do that in 2K.
Oh, Wheezy said I'll lock you up. Caleb said we'll beat everyone by 50. Caleb,
I think Caleb I think I put it in our group chat, and Caleb was like, "Yeah, you have to play on ball defense." I think it was
I
Caleb.
would
It
love
was-
to play
I'll play
Caleb
on ball
Madden.
defense. I'll still work you. Not you, but
Listen,
Caleb.
whoa. No, did he?
I'll still work you, Caleb. We'll get it in, pause. We'll get it in one of these days. All right, we'll get out of here. Appreciate you
This
all.
guy.
Dude's on a fucking triple
Hey,
double right now.
Hey, we'll get out of here. Appreciate you all, man. Much love. Trivia was fun. Good job, Klotz. You crushed it.
Yeah,
That was
fun
good.
show, boys.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Until then, Klotz stinks at college football.
Shedeur Sanders not going top 5. Promise you that much. Your shit, man.
Peace.
Love you guys.